for some baseball, and for these Oakland A's, it's been a long wait, and they have not enjoyed sitting around for about a week getting ready for the start of this series.
That was the Dodgers take the field, Jack, and we talked about that. I remember we were talking about the 1954 Cleveland Indians who won 111 games. They cinched it early. The Giants had a tough time winning. They went into the series. The Giants beat them 4 straight, so it'll be interesting to see if the Oakland Athletics are ready.
But the Giants had Willie Mays.
Oh, yeah, they had Willie Mays and Dusty Rhodes. Had great there.
Wasn't Willie something, Bill White? Did you ever see a better player during your playing days in the big leagues?
Nobody could play it, hit it, catch it, run it, or win for you more than Willie Mays, in my opinion.
And you go down the line with Henry Aaron and Roberto Clemente and Musial and DiMaggio and all the others. Most of the baseball people I talk with still come up with the name of Willie Mays.
Well, at one point, New York had some great center fielders. You're talking about Mays, you're talking about Duke Snider, and you're talking about Mickey Mantle.
Well, in a moment, we'll have Bill White talk about a rookie starting this game, Tim Belcher. First of all, greetings to all of you across the country enjoying the World Series on CBS Radio, and to those of you around the world tuning us in on Armed Forces Radio. Said hello last Wednesday at the airport in Frankfurt, Germany, to Sergeant Schaefer of Rochester, New York, Bill, and he told us that he'd be tuned in here this evening. I wonder how Belcher is going to be tuned in. One good thing he's got going for him, he's a hard thrower. He doesn't have to depend on a lot of finesse, and so if he has any nerves going for him here tonight, all he's got to do is kick that front foot high and let her fly.
Well, he can get the ball in there quickly, as you mentioned. He also has added at least what he says is a split finger and also a hard slider. But everything's going to be coming up there. He is going to try to trick you.
What do you mean by that? At least he says it.
Well, you know, some of these guys are talking about split fingers, and I'm not sure they're always might have a little pine tar, a little foreign substance on that.
Or a little saliva.
A little something, yeah. But we call everything a split finger.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of suspicion about a lot of players and pitchers in the big leagues who suddenly become very effective. For example, the Oakland pitcher here tonight, Dave Stewart, I saw him when he was cut loose by Philadelphia. He couldn't win a game at all.
But over the last 2 years, he's the only pitcher in baseball to win 20 games in each of the last 2 years.
Tim Belcher had a record of 12-6. He'll start off by pitching to Carney Lansford. Lansford batted .279. He's one of the few in the Oakland lineup who will take a few pitches and try to work the count. The rest of them go up there like the old pirate ball clubs of the 70s. They just start swinging. Well, let's see how this game goes here at the outset. The first pitch from Belcher, the right-hander, on the way. And it's a strike ball. A ball right down the middle, and Lansford was taken.
And the fastball, you mentioned Lansford will take pitches. He's a flare-type hitter. He'll pull the ball every once in a while, but mostly he flares the ball into right center.
And now the pitch is inside to Lansford, who bats with a rather open style. Third baseman Hamlin is quite deep. It's unusual to see the third baseman that deep with any leadoff hitter at the plate.
And Lansford has deceptive speed.
Here's the pitch, and it's up high. You mean he's slower than he looks, or
nope, he's faster than he looks. Lansford, he stole 29 bases this year. He was caught just 8 times. But a lot of people, when he gets on first base, they forget about it.
2 balls and a strike to count to the leadoff hitter in the game. Belcher has the sign from Socia, his next pitch coming. And a swing and a fly ball into short right, curving foul, and that ball's going to go out of play to even the count 2-2. And I see what you mean by a flare-type hitter. He doesn't mind where he hits the ball.
Well, in 1981, in that shortened season, he led the American League in hitting and got a lot of flares. And this year early, he was flirting with 400.
The third baseman is Jeff Hamilton with Alfredo Griffin at short, Steve Sachs at second, Franklin Stubbs at first. In the outfield, it's Hatcher, Shelby, and Marshall. Dodgers playing without Gibson. 2-2 pitch leadoff man, and high, way high, ball 3, and a full count of 3-2. And the way they have people in the lineup who can hit the ball out of the park, talking about Oakland, you don't want to walk anybody and give them anything for nothing. So Belcher will have to challenge Carney Lansford. Here it comes, and a fly ball foul, backing out of play. He's up on the bat handle. I imagine he's tough to strike out.
He is tough to strike out. He gets the bat on the ball, does not try, as you mentioned earlier, to hit home runs as Canseco require.
A full count on Lansford, who gets back in. Socia down to give the sign. Belcher on the mound. The outfield a bit around to the left, and the 3-2 pitch is on the way. Lansford takes strike 3 ball on the outside corner, and that's the way this one starts. He got him with a breaking ball, I think.
A fast slider, quick slider on the outside part of the plate. Lansford took it, Didn't argue with home plate umpire Doug Harvey, just walked slowly back to the A's dugout. Good pitch by Tim Belcher.
That was a moving fastball as it turned out.
Came back on the plate, looked like it was going to be outside, and came back over the outside corner.
Lansford gave up on it. He thought it was going to be away, and it was on the outside corner and 1 out, and the batter is Dave Henderson. Henderson batted .304 with 24 home runs. First one to him, swinging a foul. Strike 1, he wasn't taking.
Jack, you're talking about the athletics and how big they are. Lansford 6'2", 195. Henderson 6'2", 220. Canseco 6'3", 230. Parker 6'5", 230. McGuire 6'5", 220. They should be playing football.
Looks like an offensive line. Belcher has retired the first man on strikes and brings it home to Dave Henderson with 1 out. And it's over but low, 1-1. They really play Henderson as a ranked pull hitter. They give him right center. They give him the right field foul line. And the third baseman, Hamilton, is deep again. Apparently, these A's never bunt the ball. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a bouncer up the middle. Goes on through a base hit. That was an off-speed pitch, and Henderson stayed back and wrapped it up the middle. So he has the honor of the first hit in the 88 series.
And it doesn't look like, of course, we've only seen a couple of hitters. It doesn't look as though Belcher has a good breaking ball. He probably should stay with his fastball and the hard slider. Forget that curveball.
Especially when you're pitching to people ahead of Canseco. Canseco really bombed a couple back into the bleachers here. They must have traveled well over 400 feet and caught the attention of the crowd during pregame batting practice. He stands in. He hit 42 home runs. That was tops in the league. Drove in 124. That was tops in the league. Henderson only stole 2 bases this year, so he won't be going anywhere. Here's a pitch. Canseco is swinging a miss and a ball on the inside part, strike 1.
That's a good pitch. Ball went down and in on Canseco, and he swung over. Big guy like Canseco, he likes the ball away from him. He likes the ball out over the plate, and he's hit quite a few home runs the other way to right field.
He'll hit him in any direction. 1 on, 1 out, first inning. Check on the runner by Belcher, the pitch. And a foul as he ducked an inside pitch, and that ball might have hit him. And he goes to first base. It did hit him. Canseco hit by the pitch, and I think the Dodgers want to know from the plate umpire Doug Harvey what that was all about. And Lasorda makes one of the many trips he will make to the playing field before this series is over.
Well,
he thinks Canseco is swinging at the ball.
That's right. I was going to say that, Jack. I think he thinks Canseco went too far, and then after he'll argue that, if he loses that, he'll say, well, he fouled it off. But he's going to lose both arguments.
Canseco was hit by the pitch, and he goes to first. Henderson down to second with 1 out. That ball went right in on him, and I don't quite know where it hit him.
I believe he hit his back elbow, the right forearm.
And up comes Dave Parker. Now, you can get Parker on the double play. On the other hand, he could give Oakland a 3-0 lead here in the first inning. And they play him just a bit to pull. Parker doesn't run nearly as well as he used to. The infielders shorten up a step, but really not a full step, and Belcher has 2 on, 1 out, his pitch. Swinging a foul off to the left side, strike 1.
I think, Jack, we're going to see Parker get a lot of hard stuff, a lot of fastballs, a lot of hard sliders in, because he's a little bit older now. He's been injured. He doesn't get around as well on the fastball as he used to. And even when he was in shape, he hit the ball quite a bit to left center.
Canseco was indeed hit by that pitch, but he walked right into the ball, and even now he's flexing that right arm, trying to get the circulation going again. 2 on, 1 out, and a chance for the Oakland club to get out in front. Here's a pitch to Parker. It's up high, and Socia cocked the arm as if to throw. 1 ball, 1 strike. Parker, long time of the Pirates. Then he helped the Cincinnati Ball Club. Came over to Oakland, and he batted .257 and hit a dozen home runs. Henderson leads away from second. Canseco from first. And Belcher steps off. Plate umpire is Doug Harvey. Derwood Merrill of the American League is the umpire at first. Bruce Fremming at second. Darrell Cousins at third. 2 on, 1 out. Next pitch. Swinging a line drive. It's foul off to the left side. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And there you had it, good slider that we were talking about inside. You can tie Parker up inside. You could do it when he was a lot younger, and I think they'll do it now, especially since he is not young any longer.
Waiting on deck is Mark McGuire. Belcher got the first man. Lansford struck him out on a called third strike. Henderson bounced a single up the middle. Canseco was hit by a pitch, and it's 1-2 to Parker. Here it is, and it's low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He'll come back inside, Jack. Belcher just showed the ball outside to Parker to get him to look there. Now he'll come back in on him.
His catcher, Mike Socha, is terrific at setting up hitters. One of the best catchers in the game in that department. 2 on, 1 out, the 2-2 pitch. On the way to Dave Parker, and a swing and a foul back into the left and into the seats.
It's funny, you can't pitch him down and in because he can drop the ball, bat on the ball. You can get that ball up a little bit and make him swing the bat. But with a left-hander like Parker, even though he doesn't pull that ball as often, you can't throw it down and in because all he's got to do is drop the bat on the ball.
Parker wears the number he's always worn in professional baseball, in the big leagues that is, number 39. 2-2 the count. Henderson away from second. Canseco from first, 1 out the pitch. Swing on a little pop fly into center field, and that ball is going to be caught by Shelby. He has it for the out. And the runners stay at first and second, and Parker did not get a very good swing at an off-speed pitch.
Off-speed, down and away, looking for the fastball. Belcher took just a little bit off, and he got it down and away, and Parker just looped it into shallow left center.
He had to reach for it, and the ball carried out to Shelby, so it's up to Mark McGuire as to whether the A's are going to get anything done in the first inning of the first game. This fella batted .260 with 32 home runs this past season. Big, strong, right-handed batter, pull hitter. They play him deep. 2 on, 2 out. First one to McGuire. And a swing and a foul. Back here to the right, out of play. And this fella is a back foot hitter. He is a pumper.
And he's 6'5", we mentioned. He weighs 225 pounds, and he's had 2 excellent years, his first 2 years in the big leagues.
Belcher in a first inning jam. Comes to the belt. Comes to the plate. Swinging a foul, and that's strike 2 as it comes back here and out of play. And Belcher is within a pitch of getting out of the inning. On the other hand, to use the phrase again, McGuire could make it 3-0 Oakland here in the opening inning. He just needs 1 in his wheelhouse.
And Belcher using the inside part of the plate on these big right-handed hitters. He's pounding that fastball and turning it over inside on them.
This crowd is playing the same sort of emotion that is played when the Dodgers played the Mets. Here it is to McGuire. 2 on, 2 out, and it's up high. A wasted fastball, 1-2. Lansford struck out. Henderson singled. Canseco hit by a pitch. Parker flied out. 1-2 to McGuire. Belcher got ahead of Parker and got him. He's ahead of McGuire now. Brings it home, and it's up and in, 2-2. He doesn't mind pitching inside.
I think that's the difference in the American League and the National League. These guys in the American League, everything was out over the plate for them. But I think in the National League, they pitch more inside than they do in the other league.
2-2, 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Up high, ball 3. The waiting hitter is Terry Steinbach, the catcher. And now the runners will go. Henderson will lead from second. Canseco from first with 2 out. And a 3-2 count on the batter, Mark McGuire. Socha gives the sign. From the belt, Belcher. The runners are going. And the pitch is coming. Swinging a foul back, and McGuire missed his pitch that time, brother.
The ball's right there up out over the plate, and he got under just a little bit. Obviously, though, Jack, we've got to give Belcher a little credit because evidently he has a little bit extra on that fastball.
And I'll say this for McGuire, he did not overswing. He was right on that ball. It's still 3-2, and the runners will go again. McGuire waits. Belcher steps off. Henderson ready to leave from second. Canseco from first. 2 out. First inning, no score. 3-2 pitch. Runners going, and it's ball 4, low and away. He tried to get him low and away, but missed with it. So we've had a little bit of everything in this inning. A strikeout, a walk, a hit batsman, a fly ball, and a base hit. The bases are loaded. 2 out for Terry Steinbach. He had 9 home runs, drove in 51, batted .265. They play him straight away. The infield back with 2 out. And Belcher has had a busy first inning. By the way, the early starting time is not a bother at all for the hitters. Bases loaded, 2 out. First pitch, Steinbach. And it's over, but low ball 1. First inning jam for the rookie right-hander, Tim Belcher. A look in by Belcher. Has to take his chances here. Bases loaded, 2 out. Fly ball, center field. Shelby will catch it. He's under. And has it, and the inning is over. And Belcher came after him, challenged him with a fastball, and the A's lead 3. After 1/2 inning of play, no score.
Pitney Bowes, Mr. Bowes speaking.
Hello. I run one of your postage meters, and I'm always canceling lunch with my boyfriend because it's the only time I can fill the meter. And now he wants me to quit, but I said no. I need the self-respect and dignity this job gives me. Help.
Mr. Pitney.
Let me think. How about our postage by phone system? We can fill your meter over the phone in 90 seconds.
Wow.
Call 1-800-Mr. Bowes. See how you can profit from the relationship.
No score, bottom of the first, and Dave Stewart, a hard-throwing right-hander on the mound. Bill White, I last saw Dave Stewart when he was cut loose by Philadelphia. Lo and behold, after going to the minor leagues, came back with Oakland, and last year won 20. And this year, he won 21.
He picked up, he's one of the pitchers we talked about, Jack, who added the split finger, and that's made him an excellent pitcher.
He is a big, strong dude out there on the hill. 6'2", 200-pounder, former Dodger. Pitched in a World Series previously with the Dodgers in relief. This is his first start. Steve Sachs, the batter. Here's the pitch. And he's hit by a pitch. The ball hit him right in the middle of the back. And Sachs goes to first base. And in case you're wondering if that's retaliation, I don't think so.
Well, I'm not sure. I think he turned the ball loose, not Doug Harvey's out talking to Stewart. I think Stewart won, and Harvey now is pointing over to the Oakland
warning for
third,
both.
and then over to the Dodgers. I think that was the retaliation for that knockdown of Jose Canseco.
Sachs was dug in, and he knew he was going to get it, man. He closed his eyes and grimaced and said, "Here it comes."
Now, the problem, though, in putting Sachs on is that he can steal a base for you. He stole 5 bases for the Dodgers in the National League Championship Series.
And 42 during the season. He is being held by McGuire, and Stewart steps off prior to pitching to Franklin Stubbs. Throw to first, and the runner gets back. Stubbs, a left-handed batter who hit 8 home runs this past season. He strikes out a lot. You can get him on a double play, but he does have power. From the belt, Stewart delivers. Swing and a foul, drops at the feet of the umpire, strike 1. So we've had a hit batsman for each club and a warning issued by the plate umpire. No more of that, says he, which means the next time the umpire determines that a pitcher was throwing at a hitter deliberately, out they go.
And Harvey's been around quite a while. This is his 5th World Series.
Check on Sachs. Pitch to Stubbs. Swing and a smash, and it's foul outside first base. Diving attempt by McGuire. The ball fouled by 3 or 4 feet as Stubbs really turned on it. And that's strike 2. The on-deck hitter is Mickey Hatcher. Oakland did not put their leadoff man on in the top of the first. They left 3 on. Base hit batsman, and a walk. Dodgers have their leadoff man on base. Sachs has shown no inclination to run. In fact, his lead from first is quite a short lead. Stewart checks him. Now the pitch, and a swing and a foul, rolling slowly to the right. Stubbs a pull hitter. He loves to get out in front and pull the ball.
That looks like he's a low ball hitter. It surprises me the Dodgers are going to let Sachs stay there. I'm sure that over this ball game, we're going to see the Dodgers running quite a bit. They have to manufacture runs, where the Oakland Athletics, they can just hit the ball in the ballpark and get their runs.
Leadoff man on base. Sachs looks a little more aggressive now. He's not going. The pitch is high. And it's 1-2. What sort of throwing catcher is Steinbach?
Steinbach is a pretty good throwing catcher. He's a fairly good defensive catcher. But the key, I think, is the pitcher, whether Stewart can hold Sachs close at first base there.
Stewart looks over at Sachs. Throws over there, and no tag by McGuire.
You know, Stewart's a former Dodger, Jack, and they have that little balk move where they break that front leg looks like they're coming home, and they spin and go to first base.
They've been doing it for a long time.
A long time, since Drysdale, and even before that.
Sack's not going, and Stubbs hits it to first, foul again. On the ground, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count remains.
I think Drysdale was the best at that. He'd come
And
set.
Sutton, Singer, all of them.
And then even Charlie, even Huff over there
Charlie
with
Huff?
the Texas Rangers now, former Dodger.
I saw Charlie up here at the ballpark tonight. He was visiting with Tom Lasorda. Sacks at first, nobody out. First inning, no score. Stubbs the batter, 1-2 the count. Hatcher on deck. Stewart ready to deliver again. Sacks at first. He is not going, and there's a pop fly into center field. That should be handled by Henderson. And he drifts back and makes the catch. He had a little trouble seeing that ball. Sacks gets back to first, 1 out. He wasn't very comfortable catching that one.
Well, you mentioned, Jack, we're not being bothered here by the sun because of this early start. The whole field is in the shade. And I believe that Henderson might have been bothered a bit by the height of the stands here behind him.
Sometimes it's tough, particularly in left field, to see the ball in this park during the twilight hours or even later when it gets dark if they get caught in the bank of lights. I know Lou Brock used to have a lot of problems here. The batter, Hatcher. First pitch of the strike in at the knees. And now they call a balk. And Sacks goes to second base.
Early in the season, they called a lot of balks on Dave Stewart, and he said, well, this is the way I pitch. If you're going to call a balk, you got to keep calling because I just pitch this way.
Third base umpire Darrell Cousins made the call. So a hit batsman and a balk has a runner at second. That's a break for the Dodgers because Hatcher is a double play man. He doesn't run very well. No pitch to him, and so he awaits the first one with Sacks at second, 1 out. Stewart from the belt. Kicks and fires, swinging a foul, trying to go to right.
Found out, Jack, that's during the regular season, Stewart was called 14 times for balking.
Where'd you find that out?
From John Rooney, right next to me here.
Uh-huh. He is our computer man. Runner at second, 1 out. The pitch to Mickey Hatcher. Coming. Swinging along with the left center field. Hanging the track of the wall. May go. Home run for Mickey Hatcher. He runs around the bases like a wild man. And the Dodgers lead 2-0. He is one of the biggest characters in baseball. You never know what he's going to do. He's going wacky-doo down there. And it's 2-0 Dodgers. And that ball flew out of here, Bill.
Got out of here quickly over the fence at the 385 mark. That's only the second home run this season that Hatcher has hit.
I was going to double-check that figure. I have it written down. Only one. What a time he picks to get another. And this Dodger team is hot, Bill. There's no doubt about that.
Baseball.
Mike Marshall and the first pitch is strike. So Mickey Hatcher, Transamerica, salute you if we can catch up with you. We're running around like a madman down there. At Transamerica, the power of the pyramid is working for you. Mike Marshall at the dish. Swing and a miss at a low breaking ball. And Marshall at this time of year, the way he has changed his batting approach, looks as though he can't hit a thing, Bill, that's low and away.
Oh, throwing a lot of breaking balls. Going back to the pitch that Hatcher hit, that ball looked like it was up around the legs and had nothing on it. Just stayed there.
He got way out in front and really cracked it. And it's 2-0. Up and in to Marshall, 1-2. Throw him out of the game. I'd throw him out of the game for that, wouldn't you?
Well, this game has changed. It's not the same. They tell you where to pitch anymore.
Mickey Hatcher puts the Dodgers on top, and now Mike Marshall swings and fouls it off to the right upper deck.
You know, Jack, they put a lot of pressure on umpires when they give them that much power.
Well, they don't mind it, though.
Well, some of them do.
No, they don't.
I don't know. Some of them
umpires
they
love
like to
that
be
power, man.
Judged. Well, I'm not sure about making the decision on where the ball should be thrown.
1-2 to Marshall. Base is empty. Swing and a miss. Low and away breaking ball, and not that far away. And the first strikeout for Dave Stewart. And let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. I can't get over Mickey Hatcher on the CBS Radio Network.
This is WJJD Radio, AM 1160, the Music of the Star Station, WJJD Chicago, Division of Infinity Broadcasting. Time, 8 o'clock.
John Shelby is at the plate, switch-hitting outfielder, batting left. First pitch high and away from Dave Stewart. Oakland has been behind before in many ball games this year.
We mentioned that they can come back quickly. They came back against Boston when they were down, I believe, 6-0.
Swinging a bouncing ball to first, hit by Shelby, fielded by McGuire, who makes the play himself, and the inning is over. The pitcher was over there covering, but McGuire made the play, and it's the Dodgers on front. 2 runs on 1 hit. After 1, 2-0 Dodgers, and we'll be back in just a moment.
The Gorlick sisters talk about Denny's Belgian waffle breakfast specials.
I just ordered Belgian waffles that are so fancy. They gave me a printed invitation to try them. That was the menu. Oh, that's very clever of them to use an invitation as a menu. You didn't get an invitation. But does that mean they're not going to serve me those big fluffy waffles? Of course they're going to serve them to you. You mean I just won't get the strawberries and whipped cream? You'll get exactly what you ordered. Even without an invitation? You don't need an invitation to have the Belgian waffle specials. Well, who would need an invitation? Those waffles look so good. People will be coming in on their own just to eat them here at Denny's.
Try one of our taste-tempting, extra fluffy Belgian waffles, served with whipped butter and syrup or topped with strawberries and luscious whipped cream. The special prices for our Belgian waffle breakfast start at $2.49 and are offered from 5 to 11 a.m. every day through December at participating Denny's.
Second inning, 2-0 Dodgers, and Glenn Hubbard leads it off. He's the number 7 hitter for Oakland. They left the bases loaded in the first, and the Dodgers came back and got 2 on a home run by Mickey Hatcher, who can't stand still out there in left field. Here's the first one to Hubbard. And it's over but low to the former Atlanta player.
Well, Hubbard's had a tough year. Hit in the face in spring training, and then a hamstring that kept him out of the American League Championship Series.
And he was just activated for the series. The pitch, strike call. That is, he was eligible on the roster before September 1st, but they had to put him on the list for the World Series, which they did, rather than playing Gallego at second base. Here's a pitch from Belcher. Hubbard takes a strike call. He's in the hole 1 and 2. This is a tough little fellow to pitch to, and every once in a while he'll pop the ball. He had 3 home runs this year. It will be Hubbard, Walt Weiss, the shortstop, and then Dave Stewart, the pitcher. Hubbard swings and fouls it out of play off to the right. When we get up to Oakland in the American League ballpark, they will use the designated hitter. Tim Belcher from Sparta, Ohio. Stocky right-hander. Pitching to the leadoff man in the second. Hubbard swings on a line drive, base hit in the left center. And Hatcher gets the ball back in, and that's the second Oakland hit. The batter is Walt Weiss, the shortstop, and a .250 batter during the regular season.
Well, at the end of the game, Jack will announce the Great Gates belt, the big hit of the game. Gates, makers of great belts and hoses for your car.
Do you think we've seen it yet?
I'm not sure. There's too many big people on this Oakland club that Belcher has to get through.
Weiss is a switch hitter. He'll bat left-handed. A leadoff base hit. When your ball club gets you a couple of runs, you like to see a pitcher go out there and take charge, particularly against the bottom of the order. But Hubbard has started with a hit. And now Weiss takes a strike into the knees. They hold against Hubbard, although he stole only 1 base this year. Third baseman Hamilton is only a step behind the base. Infielders shorten up for 2. Pitch coming, and it's up high for a ball. They have quite a campaign going to make Walt Weiss the Rookie of the Year in the American League, but I know of some people who don't concur with that selection.
Well, the people up in Boston don't. They like their shortstop, Jody Reed. They felt that Reed was more productive over the year than Walt Weiss, and Reed didn't play the whole year.
Weiss batted .250 this season. The pitch is a strike on the outside corner. He didn't like the call. It's 1 and 2.
And Joe, Jack, though, that Weiss was very much of a steadying influence around that infield for Oakland. They had traded Alfredo Griffin to the Dodgers, and we see Griffin out there now. Weiss came in and really did a good job of solidifying that Oakland infield.
Leadoff man on base. Belcher ahead on the count. Brings it in, and Weiss takes it down and in, and it's 2-2.
He's a pesky hitter, doesn't swing the bat hard. Switch hitter, as you mentioned, just gets the bat on the ball.
And they play him to the opposite field. They give him the right field corner and right center. They do not think he'll be pulling the ball. There's a hole through the right side as Stubbs holds against Hubbard. Runner at first is not going. The pitch, swinging a foul, trying to go to left. 2-2. This Dodger crowd was really up for the Mets series. Ordinarily here in Los Angeles, they arrive late and they leave early. But they were really into that playoff series against the Mets, and probably will be during these series games against Oakland. Leadoff man on base for the A's here in the second. Belcher brings it into Weiss, and a pop fly foul back to the left and out of play.
Little guys like this always give you trouble. They just...
Yeah, but he looks like he cannot handle that inside pitch.
No, but so far, he has not come in there. Belcher, now we see Socia going out. Maybe he's going to tell Belcher, look, let's keep that ball inside and make him swing the bat rather than just drop the bat on the ball.
Socia back behind the plate. He's a very fine handler of this Dodger pitching staff. Dodgers will have Hershiser going tomorrow against Storm Davis. Davis, when he was with San Diego, couldn't win a thing over here in the National League.
Very uncomfortable with San Diego after being picked up from Baltimore.
A check on the runner, Hubbard. Here's the pitch. And strike three called. Weiss walks away. And Belcher got the call on a pitch that was a little bit up, and that's the first out of the inning and the second strikeout for Belcher in the game.
That ball might have been up.
Looked like it was moving, though.
Out of the strike zone. I think Weiss thought it might have been a little bit high. But he didn't argue. We don't see much arguing anymore in baseball. Batters seem to accept the umpire's decisions.
Here's the pitcher, Dave Stewart. He didn't swing the bat all year. He's big enough to hit the ball, but you couldn't call him a very good hitter. He might be up there trying to bunt with a runner at first, one out. If you can't hit, sometimes you can't bunt. He swings and misses, strike one.
Well, he turned faking a bunt and then got the bat back. He looked for the fastball after he turned back and got it and swung through it.
One on, one out.
Of course, Stewart, when he played in the National League, had to hit.
They play him to hit to the opposite field. Belcher steps off. Hubbard, the runner at first. Very short lead. Check on the runner. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. He threw it by him. Strike two. That ball is up. And Belcher is on his way to his third strikeout. The on-deck hitter is the leadoff man, Carney Lansford. 2-0, the Dodgers lead here in the second on a home run. First of all, a hit batsman Steve Sachs, and then Mickey Hatcher launched one out of here into left center. The right-hander is set again. His pitch. It just missed low and away.
Oh, Stewart's a 196 hitter lifetime. Of course, relief pitcher here, much of his years with the Dodgers, didn't get much of an opportunity to swing the bat.
It's not a bad average for a pitcher, really. 196 means he can once in a while hit the ball. He takes it high again, 2-2.
Remember Louis Tiant in a series getting some base hits for the Red Sox.
He looked funny running the bases with that cigar in his mouth, didn't he? Check on the runner. There is one out. The pitch coming. Swing on a breaking ball and a foul, and a pretty good cut by Stewart. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and new supply of baseballs for Doug Harvey, the plate umpire. Jim Lefevre, the third base coach, he was a long-time Dodger. Rene Latchman at first. Here's the pitch to Stewart, and it's over but low, and I'm telling you, he's standing up there very well.
He's pitching Stewart tough after going ahead 0-2, and Stewart has been watching the ball since then.
Lead off single by Hubbard. Weiss was called on strikes. 3-2 on the batter. We'll see if Hubbard goes. The runner draws allows a throw and a late tag by Stubbs.
He better not go. Chances are, the ball's around the plate, he'll strike out Stewart, and can easily get that double play.
Hubbard leads away. On a 3-2 count, he's not going. Ball 4, he walked the pitcher. Belcher just given a 2-0 lead on the home run by Hatcher. Causes Ron Peranowski, the pitching coach, to come out.
That's why Peranowski and Lasorda have gray hair. You've got a pitcher up who hasn't hit in I don't know how many years, and you get ahead 0-2, and then you walk him, and obviously they're going to have to talk to Tim Belcher here.
You think Lasorda is angry?
That's tough when you got a pitcher up in that situation and you walk him after getting ahead. And now Peranowski's talking to Belcher, and also Socha's out there and Franklin Stubbs.
We got to give Stewart a lot of credit. He didn't chase a couple of borderline pitches. He didn't chase them. And now there are 2 on. The tying runs on base. Oakland left 3 on in the first inning. They have 2 on, 1 out here, and Carney Lansford the batter. Where will he hit the ball with men on base?
He'll hit the ball a little flare in the right center again. If you throw him something slow or a breaking ball, he can pull it down the line.
2 on, 1 out. The pitch from Belcher. And he missed high and away, ball 1.
What we're seeing, Jack, is Belcher throwing a lot of pitches. He threw a lot in that first inning when the A's left the bases loaded. He's throwing a lot here in the second, and you would hope that the Dodgers, for their sake, if you're a Dodger fan, has a pretty good bullpen.
Here's the pitch, swinging a foul, and it is 1-1. And Brian Holton, Tom Lasorda told me, is going to be his long man in the bullpen this evening.
Well, he's going to get some action, I believe.
They're stirring out there now, aren't they? 2 men on, 1 man out. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Lansford. Drove in 57 runs this year. The right-handed batter waits. The pitch, and it sails over his head. Ball 2. 2-1, and it kind of looks like Belcher's losing it a little bit.
Well, he's wild. Now, what do? Do you go out and say, look, you're throwing at him, you're out of the ball game? Obviously, I think that the ball simply got away from Belcher, and as you mentioned, maybe he's getting the jitters a little bit here in the second inning.
Well, Tom Lasorda is being patient. He doesn't have anybody warming in the bullpen. 2 balls and a strike to count to Lansford. That last pitch went right over his head. How it missed him, I don't know. 2 on and 1 out. The bottom of the order did some damage. Now the top of the order is up. Here's the pitch, and it's way outside. Ball 3, 3-1. On deck batter is Dave Henderson.
And now we're going to get some action in the Dodger bullpen. A right-hander will get up, and he'll start throwing.
And that is Tim Leary. 2 on and 1 out. Next pitch coming. Swinging a foul back to the screen. 3-2. Tim Leary, a right-hander, warming up in the bullpen for the Dodgers. Belcher, the rookie, put 3 men on base but stranded them in the first. Has 2 on, 1 out here, and this is a critical pitch for this young hurler. 2 on, 1 out, and a 3-2 count on the batter.
Now they might start the runners with Lansford up there, although he did strike out in the first inning.
The runners are not going. Ball 4, he walks, and it loads him up. That's a 3rd walk by Belcher. Base hit loaded, 1 out for Dave Henderson. He singled up the middle his first time, and Belcher just given the lead on a home run by Mickey Hatcher. Appears to be inclined to give it right back.
Well, you mentioned, Jack, one thing a manager wants. If we get you some runs that very next inning, we want you to go out there and shut those guys down. But as you mentioned, he's trying to give it back here with the bases loaded, just 1 away.
And he had the bottom of the order coming up here. He was dealing with the number 7, 8, and 9 hitters, and for the second inning in a row, Oakland has the bases loaded. This time, only 1 out. The pitch to Dave Henderson is way outside, ball 1. And Socha goes out to talk because he doesn't know what to call.
I think what we've seen, at least from what I see from way up here, is that Belcher's gone away from what the things that he does best, that good hard fastball and the good hard slider, and if he does have a split finger. But he's going with breaking balls here.
Well, maybe Socha is just trying to find a pitch that he can get over.
Well, if you can't get the fastball over, you're really in trouble.
Ball 1 the count to Henderson. Bases loaded, 1 out. Dodger bullpen active. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul, backing out of play, and it looked like Belcher said, here, see if you can hit it. That was a desperation fastball, wasn't it?
And it was a good fastball because it was fouled off off on the right side. Henderson had to be looking for the fastball, but still didn't get around on it to pull it.
Belcher has got to challenge this hitter. Base hit loaded, 1 out. The pitch coming. Henderson took low and away. Ball 2. He missed again with a breaking ball. 2-1. Good piece of hitting by Henderson to lay off that pitch.
And Ricky Horton now gets up when he joins Leary. Horton, the left-hander, Leary, the right-hander.
Behind on the count. Belcher gets the sign. Comes to the belt. Brings it in. Henderson took it low. Ball 3. 3-1. He walked the pitcher earlier. Belcher's walked 3 in the game, and he's hit 1. And a rather ignominious bit of pitching on the part of this Dodger earlier.
I think the worst thing was the walking of Dave Stewart after being ahead of Stewart.
3-1 pitch. Bases loaded. Strike. He got the breaking ball over. 3-2. A called strike 2.
Well, he might get out of this inning. Even if he does, he has thrown a lot of pitches, and he just doesn't seem as though we're talking about Tim Belcher wants to take charge and challenge the Athletics.
3-2. Bases loaded. 1 out. Next pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. A good low sinker pitch, and that's the second out of the inning. And now all he has to do is get Jose Canseco.
And the last time up, he hit Canseco, but that was an excellent fastball that he just struck out Henderson with.
Ball really ran. It was down. The bases are loaded. 2 out. Canseco hit by a pitch his first time. And you know what a prolific hitter he is. 42 home runs this past year. He stands in with a bases loaded and 2 out. They play him deep. They play him to pull just a bit. And Belcher works off the full windup. His first one on the way to Canseco. And ball 1. This Canseco is a belter. You can see the way he stands up there and cocks that bat. There's nothing cute about his hitting. Base hit loaded with Hubbard, the lead runner, at third. Full windup, next pitch. Swing and a fly ball to deep center field. Back goes Shelby at the wall. Can't get it. Home run. Base hit loaded. Home run for Canseco. Over 400 feet away. It's shot out of the ballpark. And it's 4-2 Oakland.
A grand slammer for Canseco, and that's what makes the A so tough.
Bill, that ball just shot out of there.
And he got all of it, and the center fielder Shelby went back, took 2 steps, and just to watch the ball fly out of the ballpark.
I thought for a moment he was going to catch it.
Well, we talked, Jack, about the
first career grand slam for Canseco.
First career grand slam?
Right.
Well, he picked the right time for it.
Holy smokes, did he blast that thing. 2 walks and a single, including a walk to the pitcher, and Canseco hit the daylights out of the ball. And now the pitch to Parker. It's ball 1 high. You could tell, Bill, that Belcher was getting into a pickle, and he was just hoping that they wouldn't hit his best stuff, and Canseco did. And now Parker takes it high, ball 2. And Jose Canseco, Transamerica salutes you. At Transamerica, the power of the pyramid is working for you. 4-2 A's. Parker swings and flies it foul off to the left, and it goes out of play. 2 balls and a strike. After fanning Henderson, this pitcher Belcher was almost out of the inning, got behind Canseco, and Canseco walked into one, shot it over the fence in dead center, over the 395 mark. It hit the flagpole way beyond the fence, ricocheted off the pole, and now Parker takes it high and away, 3-1.
Oh, no lead is safe when you're playing the Athletics. You just have to have a well-pitched ball game, and Belcher's just gotten into too much trouble here in the first 2 innings.
But you can't walk the pitcher. Here's Parker lifting a high foul ball. There might be a play. It's chased by 3 people, but goes back 1 row into the seats. And the count is 3-2 on Parker, who flied out his first time. We have had 2 dramatic home runs here in this game. One by Mickey Hatcher to put the Dodgers on top. And now a bases-loaded blast by Jose Canseco.
The 15th grand slammer in World Series history.
Well, he deserved that one, I'll say that. Wow. 3-2 pitch. Parker walks. It was low. 4th walk by Belcher. And the fans don't want to see him anymore this evening. Now the batter is Mark McGuire. Well, you know what he's thinking. McGuire, a half swing and a bouncing ball to short. Griffin, a force out at second, and the inning is over. 6-4 in the force out, and Oakland gets 4 runs on only 2 hits. They lead 1, they've left 4, and after an inning and a half, it's Oakland 4, the Dodgers 2.
We will be back on side 2 to continue the game.
Jose Canseco having some fun with the fans out in the right field corner. He is the Oakland right fielder. He just hit the grand slam. The fans are joshing him a bit out there as Mike Scioscia leads it off for the Dodgers. Dodgers have been out hit 3-1 and trail 4-2. And let's see if Dave Stewart can stand prosperity. 4-2 Oakland, second inning. First pitch coming and a strike call to Scioscia. Scioscia, Hamilton, and Griffin will bat here in the Dodgers' second. And the pitch on the way. And that one's on the outside corner for a called strike 2. As Stewart threw a changeup to Scioscia.
Good pitch, dipping down and away from the left-handed hitter.
And the pitch. Just a bit outside. Well, Bill White, I was anxious to see Canseco. I've never seen him play before.
We see too much of it in the American League.
He is a package. Here's the next. Scioscia pops it up. Spare ball on the infield of the shortstop, Weiss. Here in the twilight, he makes the catch, 1 out.
I think there's no doubt that the big right fielder, Jose Canseco, will be the most valuable player in the American League. Mike Greenwell of the Boston Red Sox also had an excellent year, and he's going to get quite a few votes.
Looks like we've seen the last of Tim Belcher as Tim Leary continues to throw in the bullpen for the Dodgers.
By the way, Jack, the series continues tomorrow at 8:07 Eastern Time from Dodger Stadium. Join us for the play-by-play, and don't miss the pregame show, sponsored by Saginaw Tilt Wheel.
The batter is Jeff Hamilton, the third baseman, a right-handed batter. Swinging a foul, strike 1. Hamilton, a .236 hitter. These Dodgers never did receive much production at that position during the year. But they've had good pitching, and so they have emphasized defense, and Hamilton's been a good player at the hot corner. Here's the pitch on the way. Swinging a foul, trying to go to right. John Rooney gave us some information about that Grand Slam home run in World Series play. That was the 15th Grand Slam. The last 6 by American League players. The last National League player was Ken Boyer, the late Ken Boyer, 1964. Before that, Chuck Hiller in 62. Another foul by Hamilton keeps him up there with a 2-strike count.
I remember that Boyer home run. In fact, it was hit off of Al Downing, who was in this ballpark tonight, and I was on deck.
And I remember Clete Boyer was playing third, and he gave his brother a little congratulatory remark as he went past him. I think that's what it was. The pitch to Hamilton. Swing and a smash to short. A big hop to Weiss. The throw across the diamond for the out. And there are 2 gone. That ball came up nicely for the shortstop. By the way, on the previous out, caught by Weiss, he made a one-handed grab. I still, after all these years in baseball, like to see people catch the ball with 2 hands.
You'll never see that again.
It's gone, huh?
Gone.
I'll tell you, we have one on the Cardinals, Tom Brunansky. He does
Catch
that.
the ball two-handed.
The batter on deck is Danny Heap, and so he'll bat in this inning if Alfredo Griffin gets on base. Griffin up there batting left-handed with 2 out, and the first pitch low and away.
Now, do you think that Lasorda will go with Belcher and waste him and then use a pinch hitter next inning?
No, I think he's going to bring Leary in to pitch.
No matter what happens.
I think he's seen enough. That would be my guess.
I wonder if he'll flip-flop somebody then to get more than 1 inning out of Leary.
2 balls, no strikes to count to Griffin. Griffin batted .199 this year. He's a better hitter than that.
Well, he had a broken hand. He was hit by a good fastball and missed 57 games.
They let that stop him, huh?
A lot of people.
2 balls and a strike with 2 out. It's low and away, and it's 3-1. It's a 4-2 game here in the second with the A's leading the Dodgers. Dodgers jumped on top on the Hatcher home run, and Canseco hit a grand salami. Now Griffin takes strike called on the outside corner, 3-2. Griffin, being the good player that he is, was taking it all the way.
I think that Stewart has got to get Griffin out to help his own cause.
3-2 delivery and a swing and a base hit to right. Line drive base hit as Griffin got the bat out in front.
If he could have gotten Griffin, it would have made Lasorda make a decision. That is whether to go back out there with Belcher or bring Leary in, and Leary would obviously lead off the next inning. But here, the base hit took that decision away from Lasorda.
Well, Belcher is through after pitching 2 innings, gave 4 runs on 3 hits. He struck out 3, walked 4, and he hit 1. And he'll toss and turn tonight as he tries to go to sleep. And now the batter is Danny Heath, the switch hitter. The left-handed batter. And he takes the ball high outside. Leary will be the new hurler in the Oakland third. Check on the runner. The pitch to the plate, and Heap swings and misses a good sinker ball, probably that split-finger fastball of Stewart's. 1-1. Danny Heap, a longtime Met ball player, former Houston player. He waits, and they hold against Griffin. He's at first with 2 out. Next pitch coming. That's down and in, and ball 2. Tough pitch to handle, and Steinbach played it very well. 2-1. So 2 out single by Griffin prolongs the Dodgers' second. Next pitch from Stewart to Danny Heap. Swing and a ball hit to short. Weiss throws to first for the out. Weiss was going to give it to the shortstop, but the speed of Griffin made him change his mind. They were playing Heap to pull, so the second baseman couldn't get there right away. And so Weiss takes care of the side with 2 ground balls and a pop fly. A man left for the Dodgers, the first they've stranded. And after 2 full innings of play, Oakland 4, the Dodgers 2.
That itching kept persisting. I'd get rid of it for a while, but it kept coming back again. I finally went to a doctor. He said for athlete's foot itching that keeps persisting, get Tinactin. It's what doctors and pharmacists recommend most. Tinactin cures recurring athlete's foot. Use it regularly like they tell you. Tinactin powder keeps from persisting. Fast-acting Tinactin. It puts athlete's foot out for good.
The leadoff man for Oakland in the third is the catcher, Terry Steinbach, and he'll bat against the new pitcher, Tim Leary. The tall right-hander of the Dodgers brings in his first pitch. We're underway in the third. It's high, ball 1. The Dodgers have a relief pitcher in there long before they thought they would.
Well, Mr. Belcher threw 71 pitches in 2 innings. That's quite a bit. That's half a ball game.
Walk 4, hit 1. Leadoff hitter in the third. Pitch swung on and hit off the third baseman for a base knock. Hamilton, on a do-or-die effort, just knocked it down and took a double away from the hitter. And a leadoff base hit by Steinbach here in the third inning. You talk about too hot to handle. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network.
This is the music of the Star Station, WJJD Chicago, a division of Infinity Broadcasting. It's 8:35. Let's go back to baseball.
Well, I smell a hit and run right here with Hubbard up. Lead by the runner, he draws the throw. Hubbard started the second inning rally with a base hit. So he's 1 for 1 in series play, and there's hitting room through the right side. Stubbs holds against the runner. A look over there by Leary. His pitch. And it's a strike call on the inside corner as the batter gave up on it and then says something to the plate umpire.
Well, after you've been hit in the face, as Hubbard was earlier in the year, you sort of shy away from those balls inside, even though he's wearing that protector with the big protection around the left cheekbone.
Leadoff base hit. Second inning in a row. Oakland's had the leadoff man on base. A runner not going. Swinging a base hit into left. Hubbard pulls it through the hole, and Steinbach stops at second. And Tim Leary is greeted rudely here as he comes into the game in the third. And the batter is the shortstop, Walt Weiss. A strikeout victim his first time, and the Dodgers need a triple play.
Well, teamwork's what it's all about on the ball field, and that's what it's all about at GMC Truck. To find out about what GMC Truck has for you in 1989, call 1-800-382-8200 for a free brochure.
First two are on for the A's here in the third. They've made 4 runs on 5 hits. They've been given 4 walks, plus a hit batsman. They've been all over the bases in the first 3 innings.
It'll be interesting, Jack, to see what La Russa does here. He's got his pitcher up next, so it almost takes the sacrifice away from Walt Weiss.
Weiss waits, batting left-handed. He's a switch hitter. The pitch from Leary, swinging a bouncing ball to first, is foul. Strike one.
One of these days, baseball will be played in both leagues by the same rules.
Perhaps one day. Here in Los Angeles, they will not use the designated hitter. When we go to Oakland for the game there on Tuesday, we shall. Looks like they're going to go to work again in the Dodger bullpen. 2 on and nobody out in the Oakland third. Walt Weiss, the batter. Here's the pitch on the way. Weiss swings, fly ball behind short. That ball might drop. That ball's caught by Hatcher. And the runners stay at first and second. So Weiss did not advance the runners. And the pitcher is up probably to bunt the ball. Stewart drew a walk his first time, and that was a big play in the second inning because as the inning went along, Canseco came up with the bases loaded and 2 out. And he really hit a shot. He almost nailed a cameraman, a TV cameraman, just beyond the center field fence. 2 on and 1 out here. And the Dodgers might play a little game with the shortstop covering third. Tough base running play for Steinbach. This is the toughest base running play in the game. Here's a pitch. He's going to swing. And he took instead ball 1 low. Gave no indication of bunting.
What Stewart would like to do would be to make the third baseman Hamilton feel the ball. Of course, he can't bunt it down that side if he intends to bunt too hard because they could get the double play, but he wants to get Hamilton away from third so Steinbach can get in there.
He either missed a sign or they're just not going to bunt. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1.
Actually, the first baseman stops, giving him plenty of room. He's playing behind the bag at third base. If he wanted to bunt that way, he could.
Well, maybe they were going to give Stewart 1 swing and then ask him to bunt. Jim Lefebvre flashes the sign. Relayed from Tony La Russa. 2 on, 1 out, third inning, 4-2 Oakland, and they're threatening again. 1-1 to Stewart. And a look. Now the pitch. He's going to bunt, and he bunts down the first baseline, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He didn't give himself much bunting room on the bat, did he?
No, he's way up on the bat, didn't give himself any room at all, and he bunted, not only that, he bunted right down the line, and obviously the ball's going to kick foul there.
So the count is 1-2. Steinbach returns to second.
He might get the bunt sign again here.
Hubbard back to first. A lot of managers don't like their pitcher to hit into a double play. They want to give the leadoff man a crack at things. Maybe that's what La Russa was thinking. He can't bunt, he can't hit, just let him strike out. 2 on and 1 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch, and he struck him out. That was the deal. Just let him go up there, strike out, and let Lansford see what he can do.
And that was a good breaking ball away from Stewart.
2 on, 2 out for Carney Lansford. He has fanned and walked in this game. Oakland has scored 4, left 4, and they're batting here in the third with 2 on, 2 out. First inning of work for Tim Leary in relief of Tim Belcher. The runners lead away at first and second. Lansford with that open batting style takes ball 1 low outside. Ray Latchman coaching at first, Jim Lefebvre at third. Lefebvre, by the way, you hear his name quite a bit. There are a couple of managerial jobs that are open. So he may end up as the head man of a ball club. The pitch to the batter Lansford, a high foul ball chased by Stubbs, but nothing doing. It slices back about 6 rows, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Let's see, they have a vacancy in Chicago. They have a vacancy in Seattle and a vacancy in Houston.
How about you?
No, sir.
1 ball, 1 strike to count.
I've seen about 17 guys come and go where I work.
Is that right? Where do you work? 2 on, 2 out. 1 ball, 1 strike. From the belt, Leary to the plate to Lansford. Swinging a bouncer up the middle to the shortstop. Griffin steps on, and the inning is over. Griffin unassisted to left for Oakland, and they have stranded a half a dozen. So the Dodgers are still in it, and after 2.5 innings of play, the A's 4, the Dodgers 2.
Like millions of Americans, Rick Carpenter knows his family is depending upon him, so he watches what he eats, gets a physical once a year, and jogs 4 times a week. But there's one more thing Rick does to take care of himself and his family. He's covered by life insurance from the Transamerica Life Companies. Because no matter how healthy you are, it's nice to know that if you need us, we'll go the extra mile for your family. Transamerica. The power of the pyramid is working for you.
CBS Radio sports coverage of the World Series is sponsored by Transamerica, by Isuzu, by True Value Hardware Stores, and by Budweiser.
I like the way you say Isuzu.
You gave me
I'm anxious for the Dodgers to get out here in the 3rd. I want to see Canseco bat again.
He's a big fella.
Good.
And strong.
Well, let's see what happens in the Dodger 3rd with the top of the order, Steve Sachs. Hit by a pitch his first time, takes ball 1 from Dave Stewart. Sachs, Stubbs, and Hatcher here in the home half of the 3rd inning. Dodgers have made 2 runs on 2 hits. They trail 4-2, and Sachs swings, flies it to deep right. That'll be caught by Canseco, drifts back, and has it 1 out. Sachs has hit 5 home runs in 1988, but he doesn't when he pulls the ball. He flied out to right to start the inning, and Stubbs is up. He flied to center his first time.
You know, Jack, we talk so much about Canseco's power. He has also become an excellent outfielder.
And he did not have that reputation earlier.
Worked hard, very hard, to become an acceptable outfielder. Always had a good arm.
The batter, Franklin Stubbs, a left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss at a good sinker ball from Stewart. Well, Stewart was tagged for a home run after he hit Sachs and didn't let it bother him. He gave up a hit in the 2nd inning. He's working in the 3rd, and a swing and a miss, same pitch, strike 2. His Stubbs, as we mentioned, his first time up, will strike out a lot. He'll hit home runs occasionally. He had 8 this season. When he hits them, they go. He's strong. Pitch on the way to Franklin, and it's up high. 1-2. This Dodger crowd is very quiet. They don't like the way things have gone at all here. Next pitch coming. Swing and a foul, rolling slowly to the right. The Oakland A's occupy the first base dugout here at Dodger Stadium. They'll be pitching Storm Davis against Oral Hershiser tomorrow evening. Leadoff man is gone. Stubbs swings and flies it into left down the line, chased by Parker. Fair ball, and he grabs it for the out. Parker stayed right with it. I thought that ball might slice out of play, but Parker caught it on the warning track for the 2nd out of the inning, and Mickey Hatcher bats with 2 out and the bases empty.
Well, be with us at the end of the game when we'll announce the Great Gates Belt, the big hit of the game. Gates, makers of great belts and hoses for your cars.
The batter is Hatcher, homered his first time. Swings and fouls it out of play to the right. I was watching Dave Parker chase that fly ball into the left field corner. Boy, he used to be able to run for a big man, but no more.
Well, it takes a toll on you. Plus, we mentioned he's had, I believe, a couple of knee injuries.
The pitch to Hatcher with 2 out, and that's a ball. 3 in a row retired by Dave Stewart at the moment. Stewart, a 21-game winner, earned run average of 3.23 during the season. He beat Boston once in the playoffs. Here's a breaking ball. He put that one in there for a called strike, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stewart brings it home. Hatcher takes it inside, 2-2. Hatcher used to wear the Minnesota uniform. 2-2 pitch. He swings and a high pop foul, might stay in play, chased by McGuire and the catcher, and neither one can get to it. No play, no error charge. Steinbach had the better opportunity, but he couldn't get there.
He's going to try to make a sliding catch in front of his own dugout.
McGuire is not a wide receiver either, is he?
No, it's not much speed there. They don't cover that much ground. Steinbach, as you mentioned, was closer than anybody else. He tried to slide and catch the ball.
Bill, I'm so used to watching the Cardinals play. You know, the little guys who can hit the ball and run like heck. Seems strange to see all these giants out there.
Well, we gave their heights and weights. In fact, not only do the A's have some big guys, the Dodgers also have some pretty good sized players.
And not a heck of a lot of speed. 2-2 the count to Hatcher with 2 out. He calls time. Stewart waits for him to get back in. At the moment, the A's are in command. They lead 4-2. And here's the pitch. And it is low and away. Ball 3, 3-2 with 2 out. The on-deck hitter is Marshall. Dodgers playing without Kirk Gibson. That hurts them in a lot of ways. Hatcher walks. And he hustles down to first base with 2 out. Boy, is he all jitted up to see.
Well, he's ready to go, and that's the first walk given up in this ball game by Dave Stewart. He had hit sacks leading off the ball game in the first inning.
Well, now he's walked 1, hit 1, allowed 2 hits, and pitches to Mike Marshall, a strikeout victim his first time. Marshall could tie it, and will if Stewart makes a big mistake. The pitch, swing and a miss on a breaking ball. They just keep feeding him that pitch all away.
If he's going to tie, he's going to have to hit the breaking ball.
He can show some power to the opposite field. But his strength is getting out in front and pulling the ball. And you can get him out inside as well as low and away. Here it is, swinging a ground ball foul past third, and that's strike 2.
Ball was in on him, and he had to hurry the bat, and the only thing he could do would be to pull it foul. He'll come back now with breaking balls.
I saw Kirk Gibson before the game. He was walking toward me. I didn't say a word, man. I was afraid to talk about a fellow in a nasty mood being unable to perform. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Runner at first, 2 out. Stewart delivers and a line drive to the third baseman for the out. Lansford caught it. That was a hanging breaking ball, but Marshall didn't get a really good swing at it. That is a power swing. And lined out. The Dodgers lead 1. They've left 2. We've played 3. It's 4-2 Oakland, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Lawyers. Those guys generate paper by the ton. This is one of the biggest law firms in the city. Officially? Officially, I manage the copy center. Unofficially, I'm the guy who takes the heat. Buck stops here.
Meet Ed Hackemer, a professional.
The worst thing that can happen to a guy in my place is you got to imagine it's 4:30 in the afternoon, and the originals are piled this high, and one of the copiers goes down. You just can't let it happen. Hey, when an attorney needs copies, he needs them now, not tomorrow, now.
Sharp Office quality copiers are made for professionals who need a lot of copies fast and need a copier with lots of options. Our 8800 copier not only turns out 40 copies a minute, it can collate up to 15 documents, print on both sides automatically, and much, much more. Sharp Office quality copiers, professional tools for the professional. For more information, call the Sharp dealer in your yellow pages.
Briefs after 4:30. There ought to be a law.
From Sharp minds come Sharp products.
Rockenbach Chevrolet in Grayslake ready to roll with their 4x4 pre-winter sale. You'll find 88 Cavaliers for as low as $179 a month and exceptional savings on all 4-wheel drive vehicles. Get ready for winter. Call a Rockenbach salesman for details. Rockenbach Chevrolet, Route 120 by the lake in Grayslake. Mention this ad and get free rust-proofing, paint shield, and fabric shield. A value of $899.
We got Chevys and Chevys and Chevys. We're Rockenbach, Rockenbach, Rockenbach Chevrolet.
Don't miss the Chicago Model Hobby Show, now through Sunday at the O'Hare Expo Center in Rosemont. It's loaded with exhibits of radio-controlled cars, planes, boats, trains, and games. You'll see displays by more than 350 manufacturers, cars tearing around 2 indoor racetracks, boat demonstrations, and 2 model railroad layouts in action. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced hobbyist, you'll love the Chicago Model Hobby Show. Open today from 10 until 6, Sunday 10 until 5. Check it out.
Let's go back to baseball right now on WJJD.
Bill White's a longtime friend of mine. I saw him play for the Giants, and then he wore the Cardinal uniform for a long time. Here's the first pitch swung on and drilled into the right field corner. That ball is going to be an extra base hit. Bounces into the stands, and it's a ground rule double for Dave Henderson, his second hit of the night, as he greets Tim Leary in the 4th inning with the 6th Oakland hit. And it brings up Canseco, and let's see if Tom Lasorda takes advantage of the open base.
Well, I'm not sure. He's down a couple of runs, Jack. I don't think he can afford to put too many people on base this early in the ball game, being down 2. He's got to pitch to Canseco.
Mike Scioscia dashes to the mound and say, don't throw the pitch that Belcher threw to him in the 2nd inning.
It's hard to pitch to Canseco. I think if I were pitcher, I'd just have to keep the ball inside on him, make him pull the ball.
How does he do with the off-speed stuff?
Not too bad because he waits. What makes Canseco so tough is that he's got great bat speed.
Runner at second, nobody out. 4th inning, 4-2 Athletics. They've had men on base in every inning. They're going to pitch to Canseco, and here it is. Inside and low, ball 1. Now, when I say pitch to him, that doesn't mean they're going to give him anything to swing at.
The other thing they try to do with him sometimes is pitch him up around the letters and hope that he'll get under the ball and hit that towering pop-up.
He hit a zoomer over the center field fence with the bases loaded in the 2nd. And the pitch from Leary is on the way. And that's low and away, and that's ball 2. And you can bet your bottom dollar you're going to look up in a moment and see Canseco standing at first base. A lot of people in baseball don't like this pitching around business. You either try to get a guy out or put him on base.
Well, I think it's according to the situation. And here I'm not sure they can afford to pitch around Canseco.
Here is a throw to second, pickoff attempt, and the runner is back in time. Griffin had to make an acrobatic catch and tag attempt as they try to pick Henderson off second base. Canseco with a 2-ball, no strike count. Will he take a walk, Bill, or swing at a bad pitch?
Well, he won't swing at a bad pitch too much, but he will take a walk.
Runner at second, nobody out. Next pitch coming. Swinging a foul, rolling back into the left.
And he's keeping the ball in. You make a big guy like that, he's so muscled that you keep the ball in. They like the ball over the plate where they can open up, so you keep it in. If he comes around a little bit too quickly, he pulls it foul anyway.
2 balls and a strike to count to Jose Canseco. Outfielders deep around to the left. Henderson at second, nobody out. Canseco wants to at least advance the runner. Here's the pitch. And it's inside, ball 3. 3-1. You can bet your bottom dollar you'll look up in a moment and he'll be standing at first base.
Well, if he does, it'll be on a pitch inside.
Or outside, or high, or low.
They're not going to put him on intentionally.
Billy's going to walk him. He's going to walk him right here, and you know it.
I don't think I would.
Runner at second, nobody out. Next pitch coming. Jose swings and bounces it to deep short. The runner trying to get back to second is hung up and tagged out by Sachs, and it's a fielder choice for Canseco. Canseco and a ball in on him. Hit the ball to Griffin. The lead runner, Henderson, was caught between second and third in no man's land. Sachs made the play perfectly. He took the throw from Griffin and ran the man down so that Canseco had to stay at first.
Bad base running on the part of Henderson. When the ball is hit in front of you, you have to stay there at second base, and he started to third, and a fine play by the shortstop of Griffin, recognizing that he had Henderson hung up.
I was wrong about Canseco walking, right?
Yeah.
That's the first time I've been wrong today.
First time you've been wrong in many a day.
Runner at first and 1 out. So that was a beneficial play for the Dodgers, and Dave Parker is up. Parker has flied out and drawn a walk.
I always tell you when you're at second base, make the ball be behind you before you start toward third.
Yeah, you know, Bill, you keep hearing that, but you see so many guys just run into that put-out, don't you?
Yep.
Don't get doubled up on a line drive and so forth, but base running is an art which is diminishing in professional baseball. 1 on, 1 out, a throw to first, and Canseco, who's swiped 40 during the season, gets back in time. He probably won't run or try to run because Stubbs is holding against Canseco, and that gives Parker some hitting room, and he can pull the ball. 1 on, 1 out. Leary checks the runner and pitches. There's a little tap to the right side. Hit by Parker, fielded by Leary. He throws, hits the runner. The ball gets away, goes into right field. Canseco stops at third, and Parker down to second. And now the batter is out for running inside the restraining line. And here comes Tony La Russa, and he wants to argue about it. When there's a play being made at first base, the runner is obligated to stay in that restraining lane halfway down from home plate to first. And the throw by Leary hit the batter. And the runners end up at second and third with only 1 out, except that the umpire has called the batter out, and Canseco will have to go back to first base.
It's hard to miss Parker running down that first baseline. He was right on the line. Right on the line. The ball hit him in the right shoulder.
He was inside. He was way in there, Bill.
You think so?
Yeah, it was a good call. It was a good call by the plate umpire, Doug Harvey. Now they're going to continue to argue, La Russa and Harvey. La Russa's a little hot.
Well, I don't blame him. I would say that Parker was on the line when he got hit by that.
You can't be on the line. You've got to be inside that box.
Oh, you can be on the line.
But he was outside the box. I mean, on the inside. And the umpire got it right. And so Parker is out on the interference call, and Canseco back to first with 2 out. And the batter is McGuire. Mark McGuire, right-handed batter, plenty of power. Runner at first. Leary steps off. We saw a replay. Oh, you do agree that the umpire made the right call, right?
No. I still feel that Parker's running right down the line. And I think you're allowed to do that.
Well, I saw him.
Well, you're right again, because the umpire's always right.
Yeah, well, I saw him inside the line, Bill. It was touch and go.
Yeah.
But I thought he was inside the line.
Side. It's hard to miss Parker, though, going down that line. He's a big fella.
It was a tough play for Leary in either event. But he was helped by the rules of baseball, and now we await the first pitch to Mark McGuire. Here's a swing and a bouncing ball foul down the left side. Strike 1. We're in the 4th. A's lead 4-2. Canseco at first, 2 out. And McGuire, who blasted 32 home runs during the season, is at the dish. He drove in 99.
Well, he's had 2 excellent years. Year before, Rookie of the Year, 49 home runs.
It must have been frustrating for him not to get that 100th RBI. A check on the runner. And Canseco is leaning a little bit, and Leary stepped off. 4-2 Oakland. They've had men on base in every inning. They've left a half a dozen runners. But they lead 4-2 here in the 4th. Leary looks over and brings it home. McGuire looks at it low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dodgers scored first on a 2-run homer by Mickey Hatcher in the opening inning. Jose Canseco hit a grand slam in the 2nd with 2 out. And those home runs have manufactured all the runs in this game. Throw to first, and the runner returns in time. Socha, a rather good throwing catcher. And Leary does a good enough job of holding runners close. Canseco takes the lead and draws another throw. That Canseco, you can see him, he is not flat-footed over there. It looks like he is always trying to get that running start from first.
Well, you mentioned, Jack, 40, 42 home runs, 40 stolen bases, although he was caught 16 times.
He might not be running with McGuire at the plate and 2 out. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Canseco's running the pitch inside, stolen base as Socha dropped the ball. Canseco swipes the base. Socia was trying to get it from the glove to the throwing hand and missed connections.
Well, Leary takes a lot of time. He keeps his left foot up quite a bit. That gave Canseco a big jump, and Socia tried to hurry it on the end of the glove and bounced out, so Canseco with the stolen base.
Canseco's been hit by a pitch. He hit a grand slam home run, and he's stolen a base in this game. Now they're going to walk McGuire. There's ball 3, and they will pitch to Steinbach with 2 on, 2 out. This will be the first walk given by the pitcher Leary, and the 5th walk given to Oakland to go with their 6 hits. 2 on, 2 out. The batter Steinbach, and let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network.
This is the music of the Star Station, WJJD Chicago, a division of Infinity Broadcasting. It's 9:02, and let's go back to CBS and baseball.
There are 2 men on, and Steinbach, the batter, he flied out his first time. He singled in the 3rd, but nothing came of that. The A's could be further out in front. They've left 6. They left the bases loaded in the 1st inning. From the stretch, the pitch to the plate, and Steinbach looks at ball 1 outside. People around the press box are talking about the World Series 1969 when J.C. Morton was involved in the same kind of play, and that got Earl Weaver all embroiled in the big argument about the runner running inside the restraining lane. 2 on, 2 out. Next pitch to the plate. Steinbach takes ball 2 outside from Leary. Canseco, by the way, in 1987 stole 15 bases. He worked at it this year and swiped 40.
He set high goals for himself this year and attained them.
2 balls, no strikes to count to Steinbach, and that makes him a better hitter. He batted .265 this season, has some power, hit 9 home runs. Leary behind on the count, brings it home, and gets a strike call, 2-1.
Bobby Bonds come close to the 40-40 one year, ended up with, I believe, 39 home runs. He's not too much impressed by the 40-40.
No, he didn't think much of that. And, of course, they run in this day and age a good deal more than they did previously. Steinbach waiting. 2 balls and a strike that counts. He could blow this game open. We're in the 4th inning. The pitch coming, and a swing and a foul, and it's 2-2. It looks like he's got a little hitch in his swing, Bill.
A little bit, and that ball was up, and he got under it.
2 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the Dodger 4th inning, it'll be Shelby, Socia, and Hamilton. Canseco at 2nd. McGuire at 1st. Oakland leading 4-2, 4th inning, first game of the 88 series. 2-2 to Terry Steinbach. Boy, the center fielder's deep, Shelby.
That got him in trouble in game 1 of the National League Championship Series.
Leary is set. Kicks and fires, and a foul back into the seats. That was a whistler right over the screen, and it stays 2-2.
A lot of people with Shelby's speed play a lot shallower in center field. They feel they can go back and get the ball. Of course, the other, Mays, Willie played that. He believed in playing shallow. Other people feel that the way the ball's made today, the way it carries, and give the single up and catch the ball over your head.
Our old friend Kurt Flood used to play a lot deeper than Willie did. 2 on, 2 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Next pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a breaking ball low and away. Now Oakland, leaving 2, has left 8. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, 2 left. And after 3.5 innings of play, the A's lead the Dodgers 4-2. The Dodgers have only 2 base hits against Dave Stewart. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning, and John Shelby swings and fouls at strike 1. Bill White, earlier we had a discussion, an argument here, and a ball hit by Dave Parker was called out for running inside the foul line on the way down to first base. Here's a pitch to Shelby. That's a ball outside. I've talked about that player previously with umpires. At some time, the runner has to run inside to get to the base. Now, here's a swing and a miss by Shelby. That puts him in the hole 1 and 2. And so the rule at times doesn't make sense because the batter has to go inside to get to the base.
Well, here again, it's umpire's judgment.
Here's a pitch, a swing and a foul by Shelby. It stays 1-2.
And you would hope they would have good judgment. It's something that you can't appeal.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Shelby, leading off for the Dodgers, who trail by 2. 4-2 the score here in the bottom of the 4th, and a swing and a bouncing ball is foul down to the first baseline. Fielded by McGuire. Shelby, Socia, and Hamilton for the Dodgers, who trail by a couple.
And the right-hander, Brian Holton, gets up and starts loosening up for the Dodgers.
In World Series play with the scheduled off days, one of them coming up on Monday, you can really use your pitching staff to its full extent. Leary's been in trouble as a relief man, but he's kept the score down. Here's a swing and a miss by Shelby on a pitch high and away. And a Dave Stewart fastball gives the Oakland right-hander his second strikeout of the inning.
Well, if the burning and itching of athlete's foot keeps coming back, reach for Tinactin. The brand doctors and pharmacists recommend most. Tinactin puts out the fire for good. Dodgers need Tinactin on the mound here.
Yeah, they're pretty flat right now. That Jose Canseco grand slam really flattened them out. Here's the pitch to Socia. Just missing outside, ball 1.
On the other hand, Jack, the Athletics simply have not been able to put the Dodgers away, and they've had a lot of opportunities.
They've left 8. And now a pop fly into center field, hit by Socia, called for by Henderson. A one-handed catch and 2 out. 2 men gone. And Socia was reaching for that pitch, didn't get a very good swing.
That's probably that split finger that goes down and away from the left-handers.
Now batting with the bases empty is Jeff Hamilton. And he grounded to short his first time. I bet Tony La Russa is lamenting those lost opportunities. Oakland left 3 on in the first, a runner on in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. So they could be comfortable. It's a 4-2 lead instead, and a swing and a foul by Hamilton, bouncing over the Dodger dugout, strike 1.
Oh, the one thing the Athletics know, they know that the Dodgers need a lot of hits to manufacture a run, although they did get the 2 in the first inning on the Hatcher home run.
What a big difference with Kirk Gibson out of the Dodger lineup. He has a bad hamstring plus a bad knee. Swing and a miss by the batter, and that's strike 2 on Hamilton.
That really will hurt the Dodgers. I'm not sure that knee's going to allow Gibson to play in this series.
He's going to have to show people that he's capable of getting in the lineup. We might go the whole thing without seeing any of Gibson. Here's a swing and a miss. He struck him out, and Stewart blew it by him up high. Picks up his 3rd strikeout, and that's the first time that either side has gone down in order in 4 innings. And after 4, Oakland leads it 4-2. We'll be back.
How long do you think your participating Chicago area Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers guarantee their car repairs? 6 months? No. A year? Sorry, it's longer than that. 2 years? Not even close. You see, there is no expiration date on the participating Chicago area Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer repair guarantee. They guarantee repairs for life with a lifetime service guarantee. So if a covered part ever fails or wears out, they'll replace it free. Free parts, free labor. That means you pay once for a repair, never again, for as long as you own your Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury vehicle. And literally thousands of parts and repairs are covered. The next time you need a car repair, ask your participating Chicago area Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer for a copy of the free lifetime service guarantee. The only thing it's missing is an expiration date. Call or stop by these participating Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers today. Gerald Lincoln Mercury in Skokie, Fair Oaks Ford in Naperville, Conlin and Collins Ford in Crystal Lake, Gillespie Ford in Gary, Barron's Lincoln Mercury in Chicago, and Woodfield Ford in Schaumburg.
Bill White and Jack Buck with you from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, where the A's lead 4-2. They've out-hit the Dodgers 6-2. There have been no errors in the game. Dodgers have stranded 2 runners, and Oakland has left 8 men on base. We're going to turn the play-by-play over to Bill White. Well, Bill White, how's your old buddy Phil Rizzuto?
All right. He's probably down in Florida playing golf, Jack, but he's listening. You know that Phil Rizzuto is listening to baseball. He loves it.
And my good buddy Mike Shannon's probably doing the same back home. We go into the 5th inning. A's lead 4-2. John Rooney's alongside, and here for the play-by-play is Bill White. And who's this little guy?
All right, Jack, this is Glenn Hubbard, the second baseman.
I saw him in Williamsport.
You saw him in Williamsport?
Yeah, Little Leagues last year.
He's only 5'7", but he started the Athletics on their 4-run second inning, and he also, with a single, he also singled in the 3rd, so he's 2 for 2 in the ball game. And Leary now with the first pitch to Hubbard. And it's taken low and away, ball 1.
They had a discussion as to whether to activate Hubbard or keep Gallego in there. Gallego's apparently a very good second baseman.
He is. One thing about Tony La Russa, he uses all of his people. And here's the next pitch to Hubbard. Swung on and missed. It's 1-1.
I'll tell you another thing about Tony La Russa. I heard him giving out an interview in Spanish, and he uses the language very, very well. He grew up in Ybor City down there in Tampa, Florida, and puede hablar español bastante bien.
Well, he's a good friend of Lou Pinella's. I believe that La Russa and Pinella played Legion baseball in that area together. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Hubbard bounces it wide at third. Dug out by the shortstop, Griffin. Long throw to first base. In plenty of time, and there's 1 away. Alfredo Griffin on the ball that got past Hamilton.
One of the few chances for the Dodger crowd to cheer since the first inning when Hatcher hit that home run.
Well, here's Walt Weiss, the shortstop for Oakland. He struck out in the second inning and flied to shallow left center to the left fielder Hatcher in the 3rd. So Weiss is 0 for 2, and on deck is Dave Stewart.
That's a good play. I wish we had a good shortstop in St. Louis.
Here's the pitch. Weiss takes low, ball 1. What's this rumor I hear that that shortstop might be going to the Yankees for Don Mattingly?
We don't have anybody. You know, talking about the Cardinals, they could play Oquendo at short, but who's going to play second? You do need a second baseman, don't you?
Yeah.
And Ozzy's as good as ever.
Bounce to first base. Stubbs has it. He'll take it himself. Weiss is out for the second out in the 5th inning.
This game is rolling. How come I get all the long innings?
Well, you got the innings in which the Athletics left 8. They left 3 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 more in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. Right now, it's 2 up, 2 down, and Dave Stewart will bat. One of the key plays of the ball game, Jack, was the walk given to Stewart in the second inning by Tim Belcher, the starter.
And Stewart did a very good job. He was up there 1 on, 1 out. And he did a lot of managers would have had a fella bunting all the way, even though there was 1 out. La Russa let him swing the bat. He ended up getting a walk. Made a big difference.
And after the bases were loaded, Jose Canseco hit the grand slam home run. So Stewart has walked and struck out, swings and misses here, strike 1.
Good thing for Canseco, the wind is blowing here in Los Angeles. Or he'd have hit that ball to Sacramento. Hit a car on the freeway or something.
4-2 Athletics in the 5th. Stewart fakes a bunt. No, he tries a bunt, bunts through it. It's no balls and 2 strikes. He had Hamilton back at third base and tried to drop one down the third base line, bunted through it. So it's 0-2 with 2 outs and nobody on. On deck, Carney Lansford. They play Stewart straight away and shallow here at Dodger Stadium. Now Leary rocks and deals. Called strike 3. Stewart caught looking.
Boy, you have it easy all the time.
Minimum of words. 3 up, 3 down at the end of 4.5 here in California. It's the Oakland Athletics 4 and the Dodgers 2.
Sit down, honey. Now fasten your safety belt. Please stop fighting. It's not easy taking our family places. A minivan makes it easier. And Safari from GMC Truck offers something a lot of other minivans don't. A rear-wheel anti-lock brake system. Now, I don't have time to tell you exactly how it works, but as a mom, I feel better knowing my Safari has it. Now you can get the advantages of rear-wheel anti-lock brakes with Safari. So what's stopping you? GMC Truck. It's not just a truck anymore. It's part of your life.
Well, Dodgers batting here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Oakland leads 4-2 on a grand slam home run by Jose Canseco after the Dodgers had taken a 2-0 lead in the first inning on a 2-run home run by Mickey Hatcher. So Alfredo Griffin, a former Athletic, will lead off here against Dave Stewart He'll be followed by Tracy Woodson, who is on deck to bat for Tim Leary. And then we'll go back up top with Steve Sachs. And close at third base is Lansford. Here's the first pitch, and it's a ball on the outside part of the plate. So Stewart misses wide for ball one. Griffin has been up once and single to right field. That was in the second inning. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Athletics. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. That fastball gets away inside, but goes back to the screen. It's 2 balls, no strikes on Alfredo Griffin. Lansford stays in at third base. The shortstop is Weiss, Hubbard at second, and the first baseman McGuire. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And that's high, ball 3.
Who's taking all the way? I like the way this fellow plays baseball. He's been around for quite a while. He knows what you should do, what you shouldn't, and he doesn't forget it.
3-0 pitch is down low, ball 4. Second walk given up by Dave Stewart as he walks Alfredo Griffin here in the 5th on 4 straight pitches. And here's Woodson batting for Tim Leary. That's the difference, Jack, so much in the American League and in the National League. With the designated hitter over there, you don't have to pinch hit. You just write your pitcher's name in there and let him go.
Changes the whole game. Leary pitched 3 shutout innings.
So here's Woodson batting for Tim Leary, and so we will have a third pitcher for the Dodgers going into the 6th inning. Woodson is a right-handed batter. He set up looking for 2 as Stewart sets. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Good slider. It's no balls and a strike. Woodson batted the .249 during the regular season for the Dodgers. 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in. He backs out and looks at his third base coach, Jim Lefevre. And Alejandro Pena loosening up for the Dodgers. Here's a pitch. Bounce toward shortstop. Weiss up over to second one. Back no throw to first base. As Griffin really went in hard at second base, and Hubbard backed off. They get the force, 6-4 for the first out.
That ball didn't get to the shortstop very quickly, and so Hubbard really had no play. It's fielder's choice. And around to the top of the order, Sachs is a very good high fastball hitter, as the Mets found out in that final game of the National League playoff.
So Holton joins Pena now out in the bullpen.
You're broadcasting. You better hope that Holton comes in instead of Pena, man. You'll be a year older by the time he's finished.
Takes his time, huh? Well, here's Sachs, who was hit by a pitch, and he's also flied to right field, 0 for 1 in the ball game, and takes a pitch too high. After Canseco was hit by a pitch in the first inning by Belcher, Sachs led the ball game off in the bottom of the first for the Dodgers, and he was hit on the left shoulder.
Despite the score, Bill, I wouldn't be surprised to see a hit and run.
Now it's set by Stewart, and time is called as home plate umpire Doug Harvey stops play. The A's are leading here by a score of 4-2 in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 1 on, 1 out for the Dodgers. Now Stewart's ready. Checks the runner. And the pitch. Hit in the air, right center field. Stewart, the center fielder Henderson is there, and he makes a play in right center. And going back to first base, Tracy Woodson, there 2 outs.
Well, Sachs tried to hit behind the runner, but got it up in the air, and Henderson chased it down out there, and the batter is Franklin Stubbs. He could tie it. He had 8 home runs during the regular season. And every time you look down at the score sheet, you're reminded that Gibson is not in the lineup.
We mentioned earlier, Gibson, I think what's really hurting him is a ligament in the knee.
They say now that the knee is worse than the hamstring injury.
Stubbs has been up twice. He's flied to center field, flied to left-handed batter, and the pitch. That's a call strike, letter I on the outside part of the plate. Are you sure that Doug Harvey has a small strike zone?
Yeah, I know what I said earlier, and he is giving the pitchers quite a bit of the plate. You're right.
Here's the 0-1 delivery to Stubbs, and it's in the dirt. Kicks away from Steinbach, and going to second base, he'll get there easily. Tracy Woodson, that'll be a wild pitch. The pitcher, Stewart, had to finally get the ball. Steinbach couldn't see it, and Stewart ended up near the Dodger dugout off third base, running it down.
The ball hit the plate, and the catcher had no chance.
So a wild pitch will be charged to Dave Stewart. That moves Tracy Woodson down to second base with 2 outs. And the count now 1 ball, 1 strike on Franklin Stubbs. Now time is called as Carney Lansford and Steinbach, Terry Steinbach, the catcher. They want to talk with Dave Stewart. Nobody has gotten up so far in this ball game behind Stewart for the Athletics. We mentioned he ran into trouble in the very first inning, giving up the 2-run home run to Mickey Hatcher on a pitch up.
By the way, Bill, how soon would they use a fellow like Eckersley? 8th or 9th inning?
Only in the 8th or 9th with the game on the line. Now the set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Hit on the ground first base side. Dug out there by McGuire. He'll take it himself, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, a man left on base after 5 full. The Athletics 4, Dodgers 2.
This is Harry Carey for True Value Hardware, your store of first choice. You can have your water just the way you like it when there's a master plumber in the house. Get the Master Plumber Swivel Spray Aerator, just $3.99 for a 360-degree swivel with a spray or stream, and lower energy bills with their electric water heater timer for only $22.88 at participating True Value Hardware stores.
The third pitcher of the night for the Dodgers is Brian Holton. We're going into the 6th inning. The Athletics lead 4-2. 2-run homer by Mickey Hatcher in the first for L.A. and a grand slam by Jose Canseco in the 2nd inning. That's all the scoring we've had. The A's about hit the Dodgers 6-2. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
This is the Music of the Star station, WJJD Chicago, a division of Infinity Broadcasting. Time exactly 9:28. 61 degrees at O'Hare.
Oakland sends up the top of the batting order in the 6th inning with Lansford, Henderson, and Canseco. Bill White will tell you about the action. The series continues tomorrow evening, 8:07 Eastern Time, from Dodger Stadium again. Join us for the play-by-play and don't miss the pregame show, sponsored by Saginaw Tilt Wheel. Mr. John Rooney will conduct the pregame show again tomorrow evening and have the postgame show here tonight. Well, Lansford is 0 for 2, Bill White.
With the run scored, Jack, he walked and scored on Canseco's grand slam in the 2nd inning. He struck out, walked, and forced a runner, and the first pitch, a fastball drilled to left center field. On the run is Shelby, and he'll get there, make the play. John Shelby got a good jump on a line drive in the left center, and there's 1 down. Holton, by the way, this year for the Dodgers in 45 relief appearances, won 7, lost 3, and got 1 save. And he'll pitch now to Dave Henderson, the center fielder for the Athletics. Henderson is 2 for 3 in the game. He singled to center field in the first, struck out with the bases loaded, 1 out in the 2nd, then doubled in the 4th.
Bill, why did the Red Sox give up on Henderson?
You know, I'm not sure, except that they had a lot of youngsters that they wanted to play. Here's the first pitch. He fakes a bunt, takes a breaking ball for strike.
Greenwell and Burks and the others.
Yes,
along with
Burks is an excellent player.
Along with Dwight Evans.
Yes.
Right.
There was just no room for the veteran on that team. And they've got another kid named Quintana they think will make the team next year. There's a breaking ball that misses. It's 1 ball, 1 strike on Henderson.
You probably haven't seen Holton pitch very often, Bill. He's a big breaking ball pitcher. He has a sort of curveball you don't see very often. It's the old-fashioned hook.
Here's the 1-1 delivery to Henderson, and it's bounced towards short. Griffin plays a nice hop, flips it on the first base, and there's 2 out.
You get all the easy innings, don't you?
Well, that's 6 in a row since we came out of the 5th inning. Or 5 in a row, actually, as Jose Canseco stands in. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning, a grand slam home run, the first of his career in the 2nd, and then forced a runner in the 4th inning. So Canseco 1 for 2, and the first pitch. Overhand fastball is outside, ball 1.
I'd like to see him groove one right here just to see if he could do it again.
I wouldn't think that they'd want to take a chance. Holton looking at his fore side. Now he rocks and deals, and it's a breaking ball for a strike, 1-1 on Canseco. 2 men out, nobody on here in the top of the 6th. The Athletics lead 4-2 over the Dodgers. playing Canseco to left and deep with Hatcher. Shelby deep and just a bit toward left center. 1-1 pitch is low. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Canseco loves those fastballs, doesn't he?
Yes, especially out over the plate. Canseco, a big fella, 6'3", 230 pounds. 2-1 pitch, swung on it on the ground, third base. Hamilton's there, digs it out, fires across. They've got him. That'll retire the side. 3 up and 3 down. We're going to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The A's 4, Dodgers 2.
I'm Johnny Bench with a page from the Baseball Daybook, sponsored by Days Ends of America. The longest game in playoff history was played on October 15th, 3 years ago. The New York Mets, with 3 runs in the 16th inning, beat the Houston Astros 7-6. And Mickey Mantle homered in his final World Series game this day in 1964. Mantle finished his great career with 536 home runs, 7th on the all-time list. The Baseball Daybook, sponsored by Days Ends of America, because America is waking up to Days Ends.
Now we head into the bottom of the 6th inning here at Dodger Stadium. The Oakland A's on top 4-2. CBS Radio Sports coverage of the World Series is sponsored by Days Ends of America, by Isuzu, by Pepto-Bismol, and by Napa Auto Parts Stores. Bill White, these Oakland A's have invited the Dodgers to come right back into the game.
And here's Mickey Hatcher, whose 2-run home run accounted for the Dodgers' runs in the first inning, and he takes a breaking ball too high, ball 1. Hatcher's homered and walks. Stewart's next pitch, hit in the air, straightaway center field. Henderson coming on. He'll get there and makes a one-handed catch, and there's 1 away. That'll bring up Mike Marshall, who has struck out and lined to third. Marshall, Jack, has seen a steady diet of breaking balls.
Yeah, and he'll see more of them here from Stewart. They're either throwing him inside off the plate or low and away. Bill, I wonder if it'll come into play during the course of this series, talking about the inability, comparatively, of these Oakland outfielders to run the ball down. They're not very good in that department, are they?
No, they don't have the quickness of other teams. As Marshall takes a breaking ball for a strike. Canseco can cover a lot of ground. Henderson's really not that bad. They're not like the Oakland A's teams of the Henderson and Armas and Dwayne Murphy. Here's the next pitch. Fouled back and out of play. It's no balls, 2 strikes on Marshall.
Or like Bonds and Van Slyke over in Pittsburgh, or Coleman and McGee in St. Louis. And Shelby is a better center fielder here than Henderson.
A lot of more quickness and gets a better jump. But the A's, they do it with the bats. Here's the 0-2. Too high with the slider, a ball, and 2 strikes on Marshall. On deck, John Shelby, the center fielder.
And no Gibson.
That has certainly hurt the Dodgers. 1-2 pitch. Line right field. That'll fall base hit in front of Canseco. So Marshall was not a breaking ball. It was a good slider. And he went to right field with it. Wasn't a curveball. And he gets a base hit.
Only the 3rd hit for the Dodgers this evening, and it brings Shelby to the plate. I said earlier that Oakland has invited the Dodgers to stay in the game because Oakland has stranded 8, and they've done nothing in the last 2 innings. So, whereas they could have blown the Dodgers away, we've got a game here.
And here's Shelby, the set by Stewart, and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Good work ball. It's a no balls and a strike. 1 out, 1 on. The A's lead 4-2 in the 6th inning. Belcher's on deck. Shelby's bounced the first, struck out. Not a big lead there at first by Marshall. Here's a pitch, back up the middle, through, base hit. Marshall will hold at second base as Henderson gets the ball quickly. So the Dodgers here sprinting in the 6th inning. Back-to-back singles by Mike Marshall and John Shelby.
A lot of runners could have gone to third base on that hit on this grass field. But Marshall was unable to do that, so they have to count on another hit by Socha, who is a double play man if you're going to hit the ball on the ground.
So the Dodgers now runners at first and second with 1 away, and Mike Socha has popped to short, fly to center 0 for 2.
They try to pitch Socia away and let him hit the ball in that direction. They go to work in the Oakland bullpen.
Now the set by Stewart, checks the runner at second base. And the pitch to Socia is a called strike. Good fastball on the outside part of the plate. They play Socia just a bit toward left, although he's a left-handed batter. The center fielder, Dave Henderson, shading just a bit toward left center. Canseco, more or less straight away and right. As Marshall leads off second base, Shelby off first with one away. Stewart sets. Checks the runner. The one-strike pitch. Line, base hit left center field. Around third, Marshall. He will score. And holding at second base is John Shelby, and the A's now lead 4-3.
Now the Dodgers have 5 hits in the game, 3 of them in this inning. Gene Nelson is warming up in the bullpen, along with Greg Cataret. And that brings Duncan, the pitching coach, out of the dugout. How did this all happen?
Well, after the fly ball to center field by Atcher, Marshall got a ball away, single to right field, didn't try to pull it. Shelby bounced one back up the middle for another single, and Socia just dripped one into left center field for an RBI single.
Bill, do you agree with me that this first game is more important to the Dodgers than it is to Oakland? The Dodgers have Hershiser ready to go tomorrow evening. If they can win this one and then pitch Hershiser, they're going to be in great shape.
They would be in great shape. You never like to lose that first game at home either. So it's now 4-3 Oakland with runners at first and second, and the batter is Jeff Hamilton. He's bounced to short and struck out 0 for 2 against Stewart. 3 straight singles for the Dodgers here in the 6th inning, and they've moved within 1.
Cataret in the bullpen along with Nelson, and Stewart on the ropes there. Left-hander and a right-hander warming up.
A's infield with Lansford, White, Hubbard, and McGuire all back looking for 2 as Stewart sets. And the pitch, runner's going. Bounce foul outside of third base.
That's Lasorda for you. Double play to take him right out of the inning. He has Griffin waiting on deck. He's the number 8 hitter, but a pretty good batter. And so Lasorda, who doesn't mind gambling with certain batters, started him on the hit and run despite the fact he's 1 run down.
Hamilton backs out, takes a long look at his third base, goes to show him off the tunnel. Now he's back in. Shelby with good speed off second base. Mike Socia is not a good runner at first. Here's the pitch. Inside. It's the 1-1. Almost hits to Hamilton.
You could almost feel this coming, couldn't you? That's why I made that comment earlier, Bill, that the A's had invited the Dodgers to stay in the game.
Through the first 4 innings, you mentioned they left 8 men on base. Left the bases loaded in the first, the man on in the second, and 2 in the third, and 2 in the fourth, for a total of 8. Now they count 1 ball, 1 strike on Jeff Hamilton. The runners lead. And the pitch, runners are going, and it's fouled back. 1-2. Shelby got a good jump, but Socia did not get a good jump.
You know, when you have 2 runners on like that, you got to make sure that each of them have the sign, so Socia made darn sure that Shelby was going before he went.
And normally the catcher will come up and throw to second base. Forget that guy going to third. He'll throw to second base to try to get the runner there, especially with Socia, who does not run that well. So they count 1 ball, 2 strikes on Hamilton. Shelby moves off second base. Socia off first with 1 away. The A's lead 4-3. The set by Stewart. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced to third. Up with it is the third baseman Lansford. Touches third, throws the first, double play. So Lansford with a 5-5-3 double play. The Dodgers pick up a run on 3 hits, and they leave a man on base. And at the end of 6, the Athletics 4, the Dodgers 3, and we'll be back in just a moment.
People are saying that Amico Certicare has the best car repair guarantee in the business. It's the
certified, verified, fortified, and nationwide best guarantee
you'll ever need. When I get my car fixed, what I need is a guarantee. Actually, what I really need is a guarantee I'll never need. What I mean to say is Amico Certicare does very good work. So good that they give you this great guarantee you'll probably never need. And that's just what I need. Certicare calls it the
certified, verified, fortified, and nationwide best guarantee.
Amoco Certicare is available at the following locations. Babes Amoco, Hillside in Washington in Naperville, Darien Amoco, Cass and Plainfield in Darien, and Custom Enterprises at Ridge and Wentworth in Lansing.
Certified, verified, fortified, and nationwide, best guarantee you'll ever need.
You already know a good mechanic. Certicare at
Amoco, your car knows.
Well, here at Dodger Stadium through 6, the Athletics have 4 runs, 6 hits. They've played airless baseball. The Dodgers 3 runs, 5 hits. And they have also played airless baseball. And as we go into the 7th here to carry you along, veteran of 30 years with the St. Louis Cardinals broadcasting and a member of Broadcasters Wing of the Hall of Fame. Here's Jack Buck.
Bill White, it's nice to be back with you again. And we don't have that burden of the Cardinals being involved as we had last year up in Minneapolis.
That was quite a burden, especially without Jack Clark.
Yeah.
I know on your
Terry
part.
Pendleton.
Yeah.
Well, here we go into the 7th. Dave Parker leads off against Brian Holton. Right-hander, the third Dodger hurler. His first pitch, 7th inning, swing and a miss on an off-speed breaking ball. And Parker, 0 for 2 with a walk. Leads it off here in the 7th inning. 4-3 Oakland. About to hit the Dodgers 6-5, and Parker takes a pitch down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. They play Parker to pull. They play him deep. The first baseman, Stubbs, is fairly close to the line. Holton in his 2nd inning of work. Brings it home and misses low and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Parker might be able to get around a little better on the breaking ball. You mentioned that Holton throws a lot of curveballs and doesn't really have that good fastball, and that's the kind of a pitcher that Parker could pull now.
Here it comes to Big Dave, and a swing and a miss on an off-speed delivery, and it's 2-2.
Got to get the bat on it, though. Stay tuned. At the end of the game, we'll be announcing the great Gates belt, the big hit of the game. Gates, makers of great belts and hoses for your car.
If I see a bigger one than a Canseco home run, man, I want to take a picture of it. 2-2 pitch on the way to Parker, leading off in the dirt. Ball 3, 3-2. Dodgers got 2 in the first. Home run by Mickey Hatcher after Steve Sachs had been hit by a pitch. Bases loaded, 2 out in the 2nd. Canseco hit a grand slam. Socia drove in a run a moment ago in the bottom of the 6th. We're in the top of the 7th, and it's 4-3 A's. And a 3-2 pitch to Parker. Ball 4, he walked. Well, that is the 6th walk handed out to the A's to go with 6 hits. And it brings up McGuire. McGuire has walked, hit into a force out, and been given an intentional walk. We're going to have a runner for Parker.
Stanley Javier.
Hey.
We know his father
from
Dominican Republic, Julian Javier.
He told me his father's going to manage this winter down in the Dominican Republic. His mother's coming up to watch the action in Oakland. Had a nice visit with Stanley before the game here tonight. I saw him grow up. His daddy played for the Cardinals in 64, 67, 68 when they won. Then he was on a winter with Cincinnati.
Started with Pittsburgh, and Stan Javier, Jack, has 20 stolen bases in 21 attempts. The only fellow to throw him out was Andy Allenson of Cleveland.
The leadoff man is on, and the batter is McGuire. Javier takes the lead. Not too big a lead. Here's the pitch. Strike call to Mark McGuire.
There have been 10 father-son combinations who have been in World Series. The Javier the latest.
Julian Javier, a long time of the National League, and now his son, who used to belong to the Cardinals, then with the Yankees, running the bases for Oakland here in the 7th. Takes the lead, draws the throw, he's back in time. McGuire gets back in, strike 1 the count. Dodgers looking for the double play, and McGuire wants to advance the runner. Holton steps off.
Well, this does 2 things for the Athletics. They lead by a run. They get a quicker guy at first base. They also get better defense in left field for the rest of the ball game with Javier.
There's a throw to first. That was close. Holton can pick people off. He has a good move. So we'll see Dave Parker again tomorrow night against the right-hander Earl Hershiser.
Maybe. he starts talking about Polonia or Javier. Javier switch hitter.
Javier takes the lead. A look over there by Holton, the pitch. And it's low and away a ball. When Javier first joined the Cardinals, Hooli and Javier, I know a lady who thought they were two different people. Hooli and Javier. Lead-off walk in this 7th inning. Oakland leading by a run. Throw to first. Nothing doing.
Boy, he could turn the double play, couldn't he?
Oh, yeah,
He'd end up around shortstop after turning the double play.
He and Mazeroski were tops in that department. Check on the runner, the pitch. And a swing and a tap to the mound. We'll move the runner over. The throw to first by the pitcher for the out.
Now that time, Holton could have hit McGuire in the bat. Purposely.
Right. That's right.
Because he was way inside the line, and of course, had he done that, that would bring Javier back to first base.
So the little nubber moves Javier down to second with one out. And Terry Steinbach is up. He's 1 for 3. A right-handed batter. Oakland has already stranded 8. And they're going to have to work hard to keep Javier close at second. They play straight away for Steinbach, and so Javier is able to get a big lead. Here's the pitch. Swing and a line drive to the third baseman for the out. No other play. And a bad break for Steinbach on a line drive to the third baseman Hamilton for the second out. Looked like he got the pitch he was looking for out in front and hit it hard. A sinking line drive. Caught just down below the knees by the third baseman. And the batter is Glenn Hubbard. He's 2 for 3 with a run scored. Never has been a prolific RBI man. He's been a prolific pain in the neck, though, over the years for a lot of people who think they can get him out, but he can burn you once in a while. First pitch of the ball.
Well, one of the reasons Jackie doesn't really drive the ball, and the Dodgers have brought everybody in their outfield. Now, and on a base hit, a single, it would be hard for Javier to score.
Catcher in left field, Shelby in center, Marshall in right. There really aren't any outstanding throwing arms out there. But as Bill White said, they are playing in close. We're in the top of the 7th. 4-3 A's. Runner at second, 2 out, and a ball 1 count to Glenn Hubbard. Here's the pitch. Swinging a fly ball behind first. Coming to it, Marshall. Fair ball. He has it for the out. The inning's over. Hubbard pops out to right. A leadoff walk is wasted, and now Oakland has left 9 runners. 7th inning stretch time. Folks, you can stretch your dollar at Sears, where you get your money's worth and a whole lot more. After 6.5, it is Oakland 4, Los Angeles 3.
You get your money's worth and more. And promise that we keep is right above the door. And satisfaction guaranteed is what you're looking for. Sears, your money's worth and a whole lot more.
Die Hard wins at Daytona, Charlotte, and Talladega, the winningest battery on the NASCAR circuit, and America's #1 replacement battery. Die Hard at Sears.
Sears, your money's worth and a whole lot more.
How will you live in the next century? Suddenly, the pace will be quicker, yet life will be smoother, more comfortable. Introducing the Restyled 1989 Buick Century, with premium features you expect from the best-selling Buick on the American road, at a price that will let you enter the next century very comfortably. Welcome to the next century by Buick.
The great American road belongs to Buick.
Here's why a busy woman appreciates the State Farm Family Insurance Checkup. The job, the kids, the shopping, the meetings, the budget, the household. Women have a lot to keep up with. That's why a busy woman feels better with a State Farm agent to help her keep up with her changing insurance needs. And with State Farm's Family Insurance Checkup, there's no obligation. The advice is free, and the decisions are yours.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It was a tiny spark that went out of control. I'd put out the fire for a while, but it'd just flare up again. That athlete's foot kept flaring up, so I went to a doctor. He said get Tenactin. It's what doctors and pharmacists recommend most. Tenactin cures recurring athlete's foot. Use it regularly like they tell you. Tenactin powder keeps the fire from coming back.
Fast-acting Tenactin.
It puts athlete's foot out for good.
Here's the first pitch in the bottom of the 7th. And Alfredo Griffin takes strike 1 from Dave Stewart. From home, Oakland wants one more good inning. Stanley Javier is in left field. Here's a bunt by Griffin to the third baseman. Lansford throws out on a fairly close play to start the bottom of the 7th. And Lansford was looking for that play, Bill.
He was looking for it, got to it quickly, Jack, but he bobbled the ball just a bit, had a hard time getting out of his glove, and that's what made it a lot closer at first base. And this is a fine bunt by Alfredo Griffin. He got the ball past the pitcher, Dave Stewart, but right there, Lansford was there.
Lansford was right on the pitching mound when he made the play.
Plays in close at third.
By the way, Javier in left field, his first name was because Javier played with Stan Musial. That's where the name Stanley came from. And now with Alejandro Pena in the bullpen, we're going to have a pinch hitter for Brian Holton.
Batting for Holton, number 38,
Jose Gonzalez will bat. Gonzalez contributed quite a bit for the Dodgers as a spot player down the stretch. He'll bat here in the 7th inning. Holton pitched 2 good innings. No runs, no hits, no strikeouts, 1 walk. And Pena, Alejandro Pena, will be the 4th Dodger hurler of the night when the 8th inning rolls around. Gonzalez, a right-handed batter, misses a breaking ball. Strike 1.
And Rick Honeycutt gets up and starts loosening up for the Athletics.
Gonzalez batted .083 during the regular season. They use him as a pinch runner and so forth, and a defensive player. He's pretty good.
Doesn't like that curveball, though.
Does not. There's strike 2 to him. With 1 man out in the bottom of the 7th. Stewart back with another, and Gonzalez takes it low and away. They're busy in the bullpen.
Honeycutt
warming up, and Eckersley in the hole. The pitch to Gonzalez, a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Stewart got him with a heater. The ball up high, and he picks up a strikeout, which is only his 4th of the game. And the Dodgers, who send up sacks, are doing nothing here in the bottom of the 7th.
I think, though, Jack, the Dodgers are very happy to be where they are, just 1 run back. With all the talk going around about Oakland and about Oakland's power and the Grand Slam home run in that 2nd inning by Canseco, they felt that perhaps they would be a lot farther behind, but you mentioned the A's missed a lot of opportunities through the first 4, and the Dodgers aren't that bad off being 1 back.
Sacks with 2 out, takes ball 1. Stewart got a rocky start. He hit a batter and gave up a home run in the first to Mickey Hatcher. Once he got the lead, he has protected it. The next pitch is low to Sachs, who has a very good batting eye, as you would imagine, being the leadoff man. Batted .277 during the year, and he hit 5 home runs, so it's not beyond reason that he'd hit a home run and tie this game as he bats with 2 out. Next pitch. There's a strike at the knees, low and away. He didn't want it. He might be looking for a ball to pull here, Bill.
Oh, he wants to get on base, first of all. He's going to make Stewart throw strikes.
Base is empty behind Stewart. Kicks and fires. And a line drive past third. Sachs stumbles and can only get 1 base out of it. But he's on with the tying run, 2 out. A diving effort by Lansford. As Sachs was looking for a ball to pull, he got one, hit it hard, gets his first hit of the series.
And you don't see too many balls hit past Carney Lansford at third base. That bounced past Lansford to his left. Always guarding the line. He was in close and guarding the line at third base, and the ball just went through it.
That gives Stubbs a chance. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network.
This is WJJD AM 1160, a division of Infinity Broadcasting. It's 2 minutes before the hour of 10 p.m.
Steve Sachs with a tying run on it first, 2 out, bottom of the 7th, ball 1 outside, and high to Stubbs. Sachs can steal a base, but they may not want to take the bat out of the hands of Franklin Stubbs. He's 0 for 3. Hit one ball hard. Stewart steps off, and Sachs retreats. He's being held at first by McGuire. The hits are even at 6 apiece. Oakland leads by a slim one-run margin. Sachs the lead. He's going. The pitch is a strike. The throw, safe at second. Stolen base. Tying run at second, 2 out. A good throw would have had him.
Good throw would have had him. The ball was just on the shortstop side of second base. And Weiss had to go back, catch the ball, and try to bring it over. And by that time, Sachs was on the backside.
So the job is easier for Stubbs, who's up there with a 1-1 count. Tying run at second, 2 out. Stewart looks back, brings it home, swinging a high fly ball to right, will be caught by Canseco back at the track, and he makes the catch for the out. And Stubbs didn't miss that one by much.
Just missed it.
Long fly ball to right, ends the 7th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left for the Dodgers. They've stranded 5, and after 7 full innings of play, the Athletics 4, the Dodgers 3.
Here's how to make your transportation dollar go farther and enjoy a fine GMC truck in the bargain. Don't buy one big pickup for work and another fancy one for partying. Buy one full-size Sierra. With carrying capacity and room for 3 adults, Sierra is one dependable pickup. But Sierra's sleek lines offer loads of style, too. And when the other trucks head for the barn, Sierra can head for town. The 2 best pickups you can buy might be one full-size Sierra from GMC Truck. It's not just a truck anymore. It's part of your life. Pitney Bowes, Mr. Bowes speaking.
My boss calls from Hong Kong, 2 a.m., then 3, 4. Do this, take charge, oh, help.
Mr. Pitney, let's put our heads together, Mr. Bowes. With our Dictaphone Corporation's Digital Express system, your boss can call in any time, dictate memos, or leave voicemail messages, and they'll be waiting in the morning.
Nice, wonderful. Good night.
Call 1-800-MR-BOWES. See how you can profit from the relationship.
Last season, USA Today called it the best, toughest, and most tension-filled crime show of the year.
You're in for some excitement, Vince. I can't wait.
The wait will be over Wednesday, October 26th, when Wise Guy returns to CBS television.
We never had a guy in this deep before.
Last season, undercover agent Vince Terranova battled the mob and international drug dealers, and that was just for starters.
Sounds like the makings of a war.
Find out for yourself when Wise Guy returns Wednesday, October 26th on CBS television.
Baseball is why they invented Maximum Strength Pepto-Bismol. It's not how you play the game, it's what you eat at the game.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. Popcorn and hot dogs and candies and snack. And it's brats and burgers and spoon balls. If you don't eat, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 pops around at the old ball game.
New Maximum Strength Pepto-Bismol. Twice the medicine, twice the Pepto.
We will be back on side 2 to continue the game.
The 4th pitcher of the night for the Dodgers is Alejandro Pena. A hard-throwing right-hander. He works very, very slowly. And he has a leisurely wind-up, Bill White, but he can throw the ball past people. When he is really on, I'm telling you, you can't catch up with his fastball.
Well, he's 6 and 7 with 12 saves at 1.91 ERA, and this is a fellow you said settle in and will be here a while.
Oh, yeah. We'll have plenty of time to talk. Think of something. We're going into the 8th inning here with the A's leading the Dodgers 4-3. Dodgers got 2 in the first. Sachs was hit by a pitch. Mickey Hatcher hit a home run. And then in the 2nd inning with the bases loaded and 2 out, Jose Canseco really drilled one over the center field fence. Then the Dodgers got a run in the 6th to make it 4-3, and that's where we stand right now. More 6:07 Eastern Time. The second game of the 88 series here on CBS Radio with Storm Davis against Oral Hershiser. Here leading off is Walt Weiss. He's 0 for 3. Shortstop, switch hitter, batting left. First pitch, ball one high from Pena. Pena's had an awful lot of problems, back problems, as he has tried to establish himself in the big leagues. One year he missed the entire season. They play this batter, Weiss, to hit to the opposite field. The pitch is ball two, up and in. And Socia goes to the mound to try to settle the right-hander Pena, who follows Belcher, Leary, and Holton to the mound. All four Oakland runs off of Tim Belcher. Pena on 2-0. Strike called in at the knees, 2-1. The pitcher is due next, that's Stewart. They're not using the DH. We won't do that till we get to Oakland on Tuesday night. Weiss leading off, pops it up on the infield, and the second baseman wants it. That's Sachs. 1 out. And Stewart will bat for himself. They've got a good bullpen with these A's, but they're going right down the line with Stewart, so apparently they like the way he's pitching, Bill White.
Well, I guess they think he can end this thing, and I'm sure, though, that they're going to think about getting Eckersley up if Stewart gets into any kind of trouble at the bottom of this inning.
Stewart at the plate has struck out twice and walked, and he scored a run. When you walk the pitcher, brother, you ask for trouble in this game. There's a strike called, and it would appear that Stewart would be overmatched against Pena.
Read on the statistics that Pena struck out just 6 and walked 26.
Here's the pitch, swinging a foul back, strike two.
I can't believe that.
Really? We'll double check that figure. 2 quick strikes on Stewart. Weiss, by the way, 0 for 4. And the pitch, a foul rolling back and to the left.
Here it says walked 27, struck out 6. I can't believe that's got to be a misprint.
I'll leave that up to you to figure it out. You'll have plenty of time while Pena pitches. He brings home another to Dave Stewart, and he struck him out with a breaking ball. Stewart bailed out. First strikeout for Pena. Base is empty as Lansford bats, and he is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Lansford is struck out, walked, hit into a force out, and lined out to center field. In the bottom of this 8th inning, the Dodgers will have catcher Marshall and Shelby, and if anybody gets on, Socia. Kirk Gibson is on the bench, and from what you hear, he probably is not capable even of pinch hitting here this evening. Gibson unable to play tonight. Probably not tomorrow night, and perhaps not for the entire series. With 2 out, Lansford waits and takes ball 1 low outside.
That was a mistake. 83 strikeouts and 27 walks in 94 and 1/3 innings pitched during the season.
You can't believe these computers all the time. Pena rocks into action, brings it home to Lansford, and he throws it high, ball 2.
Well, after you mentioned how hard he throws, I figured, well, he might walk somebody, but he's also got to strike out somebody, and just 6 strikeouts in 94 innings didn't sound like too many.
Bill, usually at this stage of the game, no matter what the score, a good percentage of these Dodger fans leave the ballpark. That's not the case here tonight. They're hanging around. We're in the top of the 8th, 4-3 A's. The pitch to Lansford is a strike call in the inside corner. Perfect pitch, 2-1. That was a good pitch, Bill, on 2-0.
On the inside corner, Lansford diving in on the ball, backed off. He thought the ball might have been inside, but they're not saying too much to Doug Harvey.
He doesn't like to listen. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch. Swing and a bouncer to third. Fair. No foul ball. Just past third base. And that makes it 2-2. They have a half a dozen umpires working this game, with Doug Harvey, the plate umpire, Durwood Merrill at first, Bruce Tremming at second, Darrell Cousins at third. Working the left field foul line, Jerry Crawford, in the right field foul line, Larry McCoy. 3 from the American League, 3 from the National. Lansford 0 for 3, back in with a 2-2 count. 2 out and nobody on base. Into the windup, Pena. His pitch, bouncer to second, a high hop, 2 sacks. The throw, he's out to get him over. Lansford is 0 for 4, and Pena set them down in order in the 8th. And it will be Hatcher, Marshall, and Shelby. After 7.5, Oakland Athletics 4, Los Angeles Dodgers 3.
Hi, Joey Suzu here. The folks at Isuzu have bet me that I can't do an entire commercial without lying. So here goes. The affordable front-wheel drive Isuzu iMark comes with a surprising list of standard features, like aluminum alloy wheels, steel-belted radials, and power steering. And if you buy any iMark now, you'll receive a $500 factory rebate. I did it! I guess anything's possible when you're a direct descendant of Honest Abe Lincoln.
Whoops! Act now and get a $500 factory cash rebate on any Isuzu iMark.
The Oakland A's lead 4-3, bottom of the 8th, Dodger Stadium, Mickey Hatcher leading off. First pitch, Dave Stewart. On the way, and a strike call to Hatcher, the early hero in this game. He popped a 2-run homer in the first to give the Dodgers a brief lead. Stewart working rapidly. Pitches, low and away, a ball and a strike. Bill White, Jack Buck with you from Dodger Stadium for CBS Radio. Lansford guards the line and plays in at third. Here's another pitch. Hatcher a foul. That puts him in the hole 1-2.
And with that home run in that first inning off Stewart, Hatcher became the 19th player in series history to hit a home run in his first career series at-bat.
1 ball, 2 strikes, next pitch. And a half swing, and he struck him out. Hatcher didn't get a swing at that ball, but the umpire punched him out for the first out in the 8th. And Stewart put that ball in a dandy spot.
Excellent spot, and that's his 5th strikeout, and a big strikeout for him because he's got the right-hander loosening up behind him. That's the guy you've been talking about.
Eckersley out there. He's ready if needed. Meanwhile, the batter is Mike Marshall, 1 for 3. Single and scored a run in the 6th inning. That made it the 4-3 game we have at the moment. Lansford still on the line at third, and Marshall takes a strike, and Stewart, who had 14 complete games during the season, appears to be as strong as ever.
Well, he did a good job, Marshall, last time up against Stewart, Jack, when he took the ball to right field, didn't try to pull it. Stewart had been throwing him a lot of breaking balls, so he went that way with the fastball.
The pitch to big Mike Marshall, and it's up high for a ball, 1-1. Stewart, a 21-game winner during the regular season, won a game against the Red Sox in the playoff. Trying to give the A's a running start in the series. Pitches, swing and a pop-up to the right side. Fair ball. Second baseman calls for it. Hubbard makes the catch for the out. And Stewart experiencing no problems here in the 8th with the number 3 and 4 hitters. We're now pitch to John Shelby. He is 1 for 3 on the night.
Well, we mentioned the Dodger problems. They do not have the power people. Although Shelby did hit 10 home runs for the Dodgers this year, then 3 for Socha, who's up next, 6 for Hamilton, 1 for Alfredo Griffin. So they don't really sting the ball. That's what you need, unless you're going to get great pitching and great defense.
Shelby's 1 for 3, and Stewart misses on the outside corner, ball 1. 4-6-0 for the A's, 3-6-0 for the Dodgers. Nothing shaking. Here's the pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Stewart got the breaking ball over and brings it home again to Shelby. Swing and a high foul right back here puts the batter in the hole, 1-2. He's working very rapidly, isn't he?
Working fast and keeping the ball up and away from Shelby.
Shelby has grounded out, struck out and singled. Here's Stewart right back with another, and a foul back here, and it stays 1-2.
And he got a good cut at that fastball, down a little bit lower around the belt.
Might have been a mistake,
yes,
right?
He wants to keep that ball up around the letters on Shelby, batting left-handed.
With the bases empty and 2 out, another pitch. And he misses outside. I can't believe how rapidly Stewart is working between pitches.
He has moved the tempo up quite a bit.
4-3 A's. Next pitch to Shelby. He swings and chops her foul down the first baseline. Foul by only a foot.
It hit something, almost kicked fair.
Yeah, it did.
First base umpire Durwood Merrill watching the ball all the way as that ball hit something going down to first base. Shelby never left the batter's box, but it almost kicked fair.
He would have been embarrassed. The count stays 2-2. 2 out, nobody on. Sosha on deck. Ball windup and the next pitch coming. He swings and lines it right at the right fielder. Canseco, a bad jump. He dives and catches the ball with a sliding effort for the out. Canseco probably didn't see the ball, got a bad jump and made the catch. And the inning is over. And the A's are only 3 outs away from a victory. After 8, the Oakland A's 4, Dodgers 3. We'll be back in just a moment.
Fall is here and the winter season is creeping up faster than you realize. That means it's time to prepare your truck for another dreaded Chicago winter. Kaufman White GMC Truck Sales' huge inventory includes more than $2 million of truck parts. Kaufman White GMC Truck Sales in Aurora has been serving GM truck owners since 1950 with high-quality parts and knowledgeable service technicians who really care about their customer satisfaction. No truck is too big or too small for Kaufman White GMC. From the 18-wheeler to the 4-wheel passenger van, Kaufman White GMC is capable of servicing one truck to the largest fleet with wholesale and fleet discounts available. Their service department offers 24-hour towing, and their parts department includes 8 parts delivery trucks in the Chicago area daily. Kaufman White GMC is always in your neighborhood. Kaufman White GMC Truck Sales, your Mr. Goodwrench dealer on Route 31 in Aurora, 5 miles south of the East-West Tollway at 1149 West Lake Street. Call 892-7093. No one knows your GM truck better. No one.
The Oakland A's scored only in the second inning of this game, which now goes into the 9th, and Oakland leads 4-3. Dave Henderson to lead it off. He's had 2 hits, a single and a double, 2 out of 4. He faces Alejandro Pena for the first time. And here we go into the 9th. First pitch, swing and a foul, strike 1. I have to laugh at this Oakland team, brother. They are pumpers.
They leave the bench swinging, don't they?
Oh.
And they're not swinging for singles either.
Henderson had 24 home runs this year. Digs back in.
He had the best year of his career. 24 home runs, 94 runs batted in.
Here's the next one coming. And a ball. I don't want to start a long discussion. What do you think Bob Gibson would do if the batter took the swing at the first pitch like Henderson just did?
Well, he'd let him read the president's, the American League or National League. It'd be the National League president's signature. He'd shave him a little bit.
1 ball, 1 strike to Dave Henderson. Canseco next. And then Javier. Outfielders deep around to the right. And Pena brings home another. Swing and a miss. And that's strike 2. Pena said, well, you like fastballs? Here's one for you.
It's good play so far. Up and away from Henderson.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on or out. Top of the 9th. Oakland leading 4-3. First game of the 88 series. Henderson looks at it way high. 2-2. 8:07 is broadcast time tomorrow on CBS. 8:07 Eastern Time. For Game 2. Storm Davis against Oral Hershiser. Pena with a 2-2 delivery. On the way, Henderson swings and strikes out. A dandy pitch from Pena along the way.
Slider, yeah, sure. Came up with the slider instead of that fastball he'd been throwing up there to Henderson.
And Pena has set down 4 in a row, gets his second strikeout. Here comes Canseco. Well, this fella's worth the price of admission to watch him swing the bat.
Every time he swings it, there's a possibility of a home run, and he has hit some towering home runs over the last couple of years.
And in batting practice, he darn near hit the roof out in deep left center field. He bats with 1 out. Pena slows it down. Takes off the cap, puts it back on, looks in, gets the sign, and brings it into Jose. And it's ball 1. Alejandro pitching to Jose. Canseco was born in Cuba. Has a twin brother who's playing baseball.
Not as big as Jose.
Next one coming. Canseco swings and misses a breaking ball low and away. 1-1. Pena had a dozen saves, won 6 games, lost 7 for the Dodgers. Socia will lead it off for Los Angeles in the bottom of the 9th. Eckersley will either be in the game or in the bullpen. Canseco takes it high, 2-1. He bats with 1 out here in the 9th. Alejandro kicking around at the pitching rubber. Lovely evening out here in Los Angeles. More of the same promise for tomorrow. Next pitch coming. Up high, that's 3-1. The on-deck batter is Javier. Stanley is a switch hitter. Canseco has hit the grand slam home run. Also was hit by a pitch. He's 1 for 3 and has a stolen base. 3-1 the count. Here he comes. Swing and a miss. 3-2, and Canseco ended up down on one knee after hammering at that one.
Oh, he was really going for the downs on that one. Only one player's hit the ball out of this ballpark, and that's the Hall of Famer Willie Stargell.
He sailed one right over the roof in right field. Then hit the roof another time. 3-2. Here it comes. Canseco swings and fouls it back. And the count stays the same.
I believe Canseco's got a little Reggie Jackson in him, too, you know.
Meaning what?
Well, a little mustard.
Hot dog, you mean?
Yeah.
He plays with flair.
He has a lot of fun. He has a lot of fun playing baseball. You like to see guys like that.
Here's the 3-2 pitch with the bases empty and 1 out. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Got that ball up and in on him.
Up and in, yes, and tied him up inside, and Canseco swung through it.
So Alejandro Pena is making his presence felt. He's retired 5 in a row, just picked up his 3rd strikeout. And he will pitch to Stanley Javier, switch hitting outfielder. Replaced Dave Parker as a pinch runner and stayed in the game. Signed originally with the Cardinals, ended up in the big leagues first of all with the Yankees. And now with Oakland. Here's the pitch. Over but low. This kid a good runner?
Runs well. The Cardinals sent 2 young prospects over to the Yankees. That was Javier and also Bobby Meacham.
That the Willie McGee deal?
Yes.
2 men out. They play Javier to the opposite field. He hangs over the plate, batting left-handed. With 2 out, he takes a pitch inside, ball 2. He's trying to get on to bring up McGuire. Oakland scored only in the 2nd. Single by Hubbard, a walk to the pitcher, Stewart, a walk to Lansford, and after Henderson struck out, Canseco hit the grand slam. That's the only scoring for Oakland, and they lead 4-3 in the 9th, 2 out, nobody on. And it will be Socia to lead it off in the bottom of this 9th inning. Here it comes from Pena. Javier grounds the ball to deep short, scooped up by Griffin, the throw too late. That'll be a base hit as Griffin couldn't control the ball well, and Javier does get a base hit.
And I think we'll see Javier start running here. The A's really, since that home run, Jack, they've played stationary baseball.
Griffin bobbled the ball, and that precluded any chance of a play at first. He did throw, but too late. That's the 7th Oakland hit. The batter, McGuire, and Javier is a threat to steal a base.
You mentioned he's stolen 20 out of 21.
So Socia talks it over with Pena. Now it's 4-7-0 for the A's, 3-6-0 for the Dodgers. Franklin Stubbs at first will hold against the runner. McGuire is the batter. He's walked twice. He's 0 for 2. Mark McGuire, former Southern Cal player. Throw to first, the runner returns. Saw Coach Nato last night, who coached those baseball teams at Southern Cal for so many years.
Teams, yeah.
Great teams, great players.
Tom Seaver.
A check on the runner, Javier. Here's a throw by Pena. Nothing doing.
Ron Fairley played there. Dave Kingman, I believe, played there.
He had a list. and won a lot of national titles. Ron Dato.
Now they're all going to Texas. Miami.
Arizona, Texas.
Arizona State.
A lead by Javier. The pitch from Pena. McGuire pops it up into right. That'll be caught by Marshall near the line. Foul ball. He makes the catch in the inning's over. McGuire 0 for 3. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. That's the 10th man stranded by Oakland. After 8.5, so should have lead it off. It's Oakland 4 and the Dodgers 3.
You're invited today to a colorful show of smoothness, of value, of style. The great American road show that you like. Yeah, it's a powerful cast with exciting new stars. Cars that were born to perform. Yeah, the great American road show that you like.
We go to the bottom of the 9th at Dodger Stadium. Very few have left the premises. The paid attendance here is 55,983 for the first game of the 88 World Series. Ron Hassey takes over behind the plate, and Dennis Eckersley is on the mound, and Mike Socha leaves it off. As far as 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network.
This is WJJD AM 1160, the music of the Star Station in Chicago, division of Infinity Broadcasting. It's 10:28.
Mike Socha leads it off. The first pitch from Eckersley is a ball. Eckersley was amazing in 1988. 4 wins, 2 losses. Earned run average 2.35 and 45 saves. His pitch, swing, and a pop-up. That'll be the first out in the bottom of the 9th. The shortstop wants it. Weiss has it for the out. Boy, I wish he'd used 2 hands. 1 man gone.
Well, you call him out before the ball went up, then he picks up the ball 1 hand on.
They have a new battery with Eckersley and Ron Hassey. And Socha. Going after the first one was retired, and you can tell inning after inning more and more the impact of the absence of Kirk Gibson in this Dodger lineup.
Mentioned Gibson with 6 runs batted in the championship series against the Mets.
Here is Jeff Hamilton. That went the big threat for the Dodgers as Socha popped it out on the first pitch in the bottom of the 9th. And a swing and a foul by the batter Hamilton, who is 0 for 3. Back to the right and into the mezzanine, strike 1.
Eckersley, most valuable player in the American League Championship Series, 4 saves.
I saw Eckersley with the Cubs, and he couldn't get much done there.
He got a new pitch.
Here's a new delivery on the way, and it is a strike called at the knee, strike 2. What is that new pitch?
Of course, he's tough. First of all, he's tough against right-handed because he comes from the side. He dips down, comes from over by third base. Then, of course, that ball sinks for some reason.
Gibson in the dugout is fondling a bat. We might see him before this game is over. With 1 man out and a 2-strike count, the pitch to Hamilton. And strike 3 called, and he knew it. He backs away from the plate. 2 out in the inning. And the batter is going to be Davis.
Oh, Mike Davis, they got him from the Athletics. There's 7 players who played for one of these 2 teams. For instance, Hayes, who played for the Dodgers. Bob Welch, Dave Stewart, Rick Honeycutt. Dodgers who played for the A's. This fellow, Mike Davis, Jay Howell, Tim Belcher, and Alfredo Griffin. So this team, they should know each other.
Mike Davis is the batter. Davis had 2 home runs this year. They're hoping for 1 here. Up there batting from the left side. He is a switch hitter. Or a left-handed batter only, to correct myself. 2 men out.
He's a good outfielder too, Jack. But he hasn't done that much for the Dodgers. He was a free agent. The Dodgers gave him a lot of money to come over here, but 196 hitter all year.
He hasn't found his way yet in the National League. Eckersley made a pitch, but time had been called. The Dodgers are down to their last out. Here it comes. Davis swings and fouls at strike 1. And this Eckersley pitches with a world of confidence, man. He just brings it in and says, here, If you're going to hit it, it's not going anywhere.
Oh, most really good relief pitchers do that. Remember Gossage, Sparky Lyle, Phil Regan.
First baseman McGuire guards the line. The outfield deep to the right from Mike Davis. 2 out, bottom of the 9th, and the Dodger crowd about to be disappointed if Eckersley does his job. Here's the next one on the way to Davis, and it missed outside, 1-1.
Davis can hit the ball out. He's got good power. But as we mentioned, it just did not have a good year this year for the Dodgers.
2 men out in the bottom of the 9th, and Eckersley started to work too quickly. 4-3, Oakland leading, 2 out, bottom of the 9th. Next pitch, outside it missed again, 2-1. We might see Gibson, although Anderson's on deck, if Davis gets on base. But there's nothing shaking here in the bottom of the 9th with 2 out. Eckersley delivers, and it's outside again, 3-1.
Well, Hassey tried to bring that ball over the outside corner and frame it for Doug Harvey, but a little bit too slow.
3-1 to Davis. 4-3 A's, 2 out, nobody on, bottom of the 9th. And if Oakland wins, they will have done what they wanted to do, win at least one game here in Los Angeles. Here it comes. Ball 4.
Eckersley really would not give in there, and Jack, the guy you were talking about, coming out.
Hey, look at the way he's lifting. That's impossible for him to come out of that, isn't it?
We mentioned it's ligament damage now. It's not just the hamstring on the one leg, but on the knee, and I believe it's the right knee. He has been diagnosed as having ligament damage, and of course that's Kirk Gibson, who has a chance here to win the ball game. He represents the winning run at home.
That's for Pena. Pena, 2 good innings. No runs, 1 hit. Struck out 3, walked none. And Kirk Gibson bats for Pena. Here in the 9th, he could win the game with 1 swing against the best reliever in baseball this year. He limps very noticeably as he walks to the plate. He's a left-handed batter. He's got a bad hamstring and a bad knee. Davis is on at first. It's not beyond him to steal a base with Eckersley pitching.
Well, he talked about Eckersley. He keeps the left leg up a long time, and that gives the runner at first base a chance to get 2 or 3 steps.
Outfielders will be straight away and deep, and this game will end on a dramatic note, one way or the other, with Gibson up there. Tying run at first, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul, strike 1.
And he's having problems after he fouled that back. He put all his weight on that right knee and just hobbled out of there.
But he taps the dirt out of his spikes and goes back up to wait for another. A 2-out walk gives the Dodgers a life here in the bottom of the 9th. The A's are leading 4-3. Davis at first, the tying run, 2 out. Eckersley gets the sign from Hassey. Here comes another, the runner going, swinging a foul, out of play, off to the left. Boy, what a tough cookie this Gibson is. Former football player, Michigan State, defensive back, drafted by the Cardinal football team. He elected to play baseball, and the Dodgers are happy about that. And, of course, with a big star in Detroit. You all know all about him. He's playing hurt. He's up there with a 1-ball, 2-strike count, 2 out, tying run at first, bottom of the 9th. The pitch, high, 2-2.
Oh, we might see Davis take off again here. If he took off 1 and 2, he might take off 2 and 2.
How good a thrower is Hassey? The best or
Hassey,
not?
no. Hassey's, he can get the ball down. He's not the best of catchers, but he does an excellent job.
2 and 2, the count to Gibson. Tying run at first, 2 out. Throw to first, the runner gets back. The A's are leading 4-3, bottom of the 9th. 55,000 plus for the first game of this 88 series. Gibson will get back in with a 2-2 count, and sooner or later, Eckersley's going to have to come to him again. He had a 2-strike count, now it's 2 and 2. The right-hander is ready. Here it comes, the runner going, it's outside, no throw, stolen base, tying run at second. 2 out and 3-2 on Gibson. You said it, Bill White. Eckersley doesn't hold him close.
Doesn't hold him close, Jack, and if Davis ran on 1 ball, 2 strikes, you figure he's got to go on 2 and 2. That pitch was away, and an easy stolen base for Davis.
And now an easier opportunity to tie this game if Gibson can solve the Dennis Eckersley, who saved 45 games for the A's this year, is trying to save it for Dave Stewart. Mike Davis at second base with 2 out. 3-2 to Gibson. A base hit would tie it. A home run would win it for the Dodgers. If Gibson gets on, Sachs comes up. From the stretch, time called by Gibson.
And if he does get on, that would make Lasorda make another decision. He'd have to use a base runner because he doesn't want that force at second base.
Yeah, he would run for Gibson and have Sachs batting. But we have a big 3-2 pitch coming here from Eckersley. Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable! A home run for Gibson. And the Dodgers have won the game 5-4. I don't believe what I just saw. I don't believe what I just saw. Is this really happening, Bill?
It is happening, and they've got to help him home. The third base coach, Joe Malfitano, had to give him a little push, and all the Dodgers are around home plate.
I don't believe what I just saw. One of the most remarkable finishes to any World Series game. A one-handed home run by Kirk Gibson, and the Dodgers have won it 5-4. And I am stunned, Bill. I have seen a lot of dramatic finishes in a lot of sports, but this one might top almost every other one.
It was a moment that we have never seen before, and the Athletics, they were obviously stunned too, Jack, but they're gone, and they've got their heads down.
How could he do it? Kirk Gibson, Transamerica salutes you, and Transamerica, the power of the pyramid is working for you folks. It was simply one of the most dramatic moments ever in the history of sports. Regular season, postseason, baseball, football, hockey, you name it. This is one of the most dramatic moments ever in sports, Bill.
And these fans here are standing ovation for Kirk Gibson. And it started, Jack, in spring training when Gibson was mad because someone had put pine tar in his cap. And he said, hey, I'm here to play baseball. And that turned that whole Dodger team around. Now they started playing tough baseball.
Will you give me a slap alongside the head so that I can realize that what I saw is the truth?
Well, the Dodgers used the Athletics' weapons to win the ball game with 2 home runs.
Unbelievable. 5-4 Dodgers. The final score, Los Angeles 5. The Oakland Athletics 4. Kirk Gibson has reappeared on the field. These fans have just been treated to one of the greatest thrills of their lives. As with 2 outs, a 3-2 count, and in second, Gibson with a bad knee and a bad hamstring hit the ball out of the ballpark off of Dennis Eckersley, who had given up 5 home runs during the regular season. John Rooney, it's a good thing this isn't the 7th game. This is the start of something. I'm glad I'm up here and you're down there. Who you with?
I'm with Mickey Hatcher right now, Jack. Mickey hit a dramatic home run to put the Dodgers up, and that had to be the happiest moment of your life, Mickey.
Oh, it was real. I tell you what, I was so happy I couldn't believe it. I ran around the bases too fast, so I never had a home run cross before.
How about the home run by Gibson at the end?
Oh, it's fantastic. This club, the club that we got right now, the chemistry, we just don't give up. We keep coming back, and you know, you hear so much about Eckersley, Stewart, all this stuff. Well, we just go out there and play our game, and we believe in ourselves, and that's what's helped us win some games this year. We just keep surprising people. We got players like that on our club.
You can't get any better than this, okay?
Oh, no, Gibby's fantastic, and like I say, he'll give himself to get in the game. He knew that we needed him to bat today. His leg's killing him. He went out there. We knew with one swing we had a chance. Eckersley, we knew he was the type of guy that challenged people, and we won.
There are moments in sports that will be remembered forever, and this is one of them. And John Rooney is with Tom Lasorda.
Tommy, have you ever seen anything like that?
Well, it was one of the greatest, believe me. To see this guy come off the bench like that, it just tears your heart up to see that. This guy is something. What a tremendous ball player and a tremendous competitor. But we needed that desperately, and of course,
What a dramatic home run. To win that ball game like that with 2 outs and nobody on and then win the ball game. I'm very, very proud of this team. They've been doing it all year.
Jack Bucket asked Mickey Hatcher this, and I have to ask you the same thing. Did you think home run at that time after the stolen base, or were you looking just for the base hit to get the tie game?
Well, I know we could steal easily on Eckersley, and I'm just hoping that this guy can either, he's capable of hitting the ball out of Grand Canyon. And what I did was I put Anderson on deck. And when Hasse and they were looking at Anderson on deck, they pitched very careful to Davis. I did not want Gibson to go on the on-deck circle, and I told him I didn't want him to do it. So now he pitches very careful to Davis, and that's when I bring Gibson out.
Tommy, one last thing. Tomorrow it's Hershiser.
Hershiser, the Bulldog. We're looking forward to it. What a great game to win for the Dodgers.
Okay, Jack, Tommy has to get away from us right now, but that's Tom Lasorda, the manager of the Dodgers. Mickey Hatcher got it started tonight with a big home run. Then Canseco hit the grand slam, and then it worked around to that last at bat in the last pitch of the ball game when Gibson hit his home run. Let's go back to you.
Home runs accounted for 8 of the 9 runs in the game. Bill White, in recent Dodger history, there have been some good and bad home runs. The Jack Clark home run, the Ozzie Smith home run, they were bad.
They were bad for them.
The one by Sochi was good. This one was fantastic.
Fantastic for the Dodgers.
You know, the thing about it, Bill, you can go to 1,000 ball games, 2,000 ball games. You can see every World Series there is to see. This moment is difficult to match altogether, no matter what sport you're thinking of or any particular home run or dramatic blow you're thinking of. This was just an exquisite moment in sports.
And, of course, it made the Dodgers and the Dodger fans happy. I watched the Oakland team, and they got off the field immediately.
Oh, yeah, that's a crusher. Yeah. And if Hershiser does what he can do, and here the Dodgers overcame the bad game pitched by Tim Belcher, their rookie starter, and they end up winning it. They're hot, Bill.
And the A's have got to worry. They left a lot of people stranded. They played sedentary baseball. They did not move at all. They got the grand slam home run, but after that, they did nothing.
Lost in the shuffle here was the wonderful pitching of Dave Stewart. Bill White, this game is easily recapped with those 3 home runs.
You're right, Jack. In the very first inning, Steve Sachs was hit by a pitch, as I think Stewart might have been retaliating for Canseco being hit in the top of the first by Tim Belcher, the starter. And then Mickey Hatcher hit only his 2nd home run of the year to give the Dodgers a quick 2-0 lead. But then in the 2nd inning, the Oakland Athletics got those 2 runs back and 2 more on the grand slam home run by Jose Canseco, the first grand slam of his career, and the 15th grand slam in World Series history. That made it 4-2 Oakland Athletics. And then the Dodgers picked up another run in the 6th. A single by Mike Marshall, another single by Shelby, and an RBI single by Mike Scioscia. That made it 4-3. And Stewart had carried that 4-3 lead through 8. Then in the 9th inning, with Dennis Eckersley coming on, Eckersley got the first guy, Mike Scioscia, to pop to the shortstop. Got Hamilton, struck him out. Then he walked.
No.
Mike Davis.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Davis was batting 196.
Well, he walked him, did he? Bench hitting for Alfredo Griffin, and that brought up Kirk Gibson.
Coming here from Eckersley. Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable! A home run for Gibson. And the Dodgers have won the game 5-4. I don't believe what I just saw.
And that Jack Bucket, he has become a believer.